Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
We have a wonderful stretch of weather coming up, all thanks to the northwest flow. We love it in the summertime, partly sunny and nice. 83 for the high this afternoon. As our days get shorter, tonight clear skies, upper 70s. Once that sun goes down, 67. Friday sunny, it's a touch warmer, 88, but we can still handle it. Saturday sunny and 86, Sunday sunny and 83. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Not sure if you should repair or replace an aging air conditioner? Check out the free repair or replace tool from Air Comfort Service. Visit aircomfortservice.com/repair or replace. Isn't a Thursday a great day? Thursday in college was 100% my favorite day of the week, mostly because I learned after my first semester not to schedule Friday classes. But Thursday there was like a whole lot of hope in a Thursday. Am I right?
There is, but my favorite day is Monday because the bosses are listening and I want them to know that I love my job and I love putting in hours.
What did you do? Are you in trouble? Is there a better story here for you to be telling us?
There's not. No, I just love Mondays.
You just love Steve.
I love being around you all and broadcasting.
We have a great show lined up for you today. Brian Kilmeade's going to join us at 1:30 today. And, of course, he is going to be at the factory. We're getting close to that. It is August 20th. I'm having a difficulty here keeping my hands firmly gripped at 10-2 on how fast time is moving. And it always happens. This is when it always starts to occur. Guys, it's almost Christmas.
No, you're right. I'm not even arguing with you. It is almost Christmas.
It's almost Bruce Springsteen time.
No.
Hey, kids. What's he say?
No. You kids been good this year. That's not many. That's not many.
That sounds like Adam Sandler doing Bruce Springsteen.
No. That's spot on.
Brian Kilmeade is going to be at the factory on November 21st. This is the weirdest printout thing. Is that say November 20? Oh, there. Let's just look at the picture. That's more my speed. November 21st, it's a Saturday at the factory, and these tickets do not last. Last time we sold out, people were looking for them, I believe. So go grab your tickets. I'm going to be there. I think the whole crew is going to be there. Very excited for another night, and he's going to be on the show today at 1:30, and the last time that he was coming to the factory into St. Louis on the show is where I had zero conversations about this with anyone anywhere. Last time Brian Kilmeade was like, "Oh, Annie, we want you to be a part of the show," and then it turned out that there were costumes involved, and he dressed me up like a nun.
Yep, you had to play a role.
I am somebody who at this point in my life is comfortable knowing it's okay to say no. Like, you know what, Brian? I love that you asked me, but the answer is no. That's not for me. I couldn't tell him no. I still wish I would have told him no. I have a, if you're on your deathbed and people are like, do you have any regrets? I'm going to be like, that one time I dressed up as a nun on stage in front of thousands of people. Yeah.
Well, the next time you talk to him, tell him no right out of the gate.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Brian Kilmeade. Heck no.
Yeah, but don't make it funny.
No.
I mean, be mean.
Be serious?
Be serious.
Can
make
you be my
it
agent?
real awkward right ahead. Yeah, you can toss to me.
Be my no man?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Brian. She's going to have to pass on that.
I don't know what I will be doing in the show, if anything. Maybe I did so poorly that he will not even offer, and then will I be offended?
Oh, that'd be great if he doesn't offer anything.
Possibly. I have to think about my point of privilege of really not wanting to do it, but still wanting to be asked to the dance, if you know what I mean. Brian Kilmeade at the factory, November 21st, will be there. He's got a book out, Uniting the States. So I guess I don't know if that's out quite yet, but it will be. So I am excited to talk to Brian Kilmeade. And then, of course, we have coming up here in about 10 minutes, Hans von Spakovsky is going to speak with us. Do you get sick of talking about the SAVE Act? I'm going to be honest. In my mind, it's not happening.
I don't get sick of... I get sick of talking about what the SAVE Act could do because we already know that. What I get sick of is why what is the objection from a Republican senator? Because the rejection from Democrat senators is stupid also. But if you're a Republican, dude, get on board.
The rejection is Trump.
It's cult of personality crap that these politicians are just playing stupid games with when you could pass this thing very easily.
I wonder if the president will offer an olive branch to the people who he effectively ousted from the Senate, if there's something that he can offer them that would get this vote. He could, if anyone could pull it off, he could. When you think that Donald Trump and a common foe cannot be reconciled, he'll shock everyone and come around and make a deal with whomever. I mean, I don't know. I just heard Jared Kushner was talking with Hamas. Did you hear that story?
No, I didn't hear that.
It was Kushner came out and said something about I couldn't even read the story. I'm like, what? Kushner is having a discussions and like listening to Hamas. Pretty sure it was Hamas. And I was like, didn't know you could have a meeting with them.
Yeah, I didn't know they were centrally organized.
So, I don't know. I want the SAVE Act to pass. When Hans von Spakovsky is on the show, I want to talk to him about it because it is so important. Are you full all in 100% on the SAVE Act? I mean, there's no reason not to be.
I'm not only 100% in, I think the version they're trying to pass through reconciliation is too weak, but that's what they can do because they can't get it past the filibuster. So this is a compromise already, and they still can't get those Republican senators on board. Yeah. And it's just a couple of them.
I'm so tired of the conversation. I had Eric Schmidt on the show a few weeks ago, and I brought the SAVE Act up, and I said to him, before I asked him the question, I go, I'm going to ask you if and when this SAVE Act is going to get passed. And you're going to tell me how much it should get passed. So let's skip that part right now. And you answer the question if it could get passed and when it could get passed. And he kind of chuckled like, well, and then he kind of told me why it should pass.
Uh-huh. Oh, I know. I remember.
And, I get it. They have to be seen as being 100% behind it. But you even have Kamala Harris out, that video that President Trump like pinned at the top of his Truth Social account where it's Kamala Harris going, these Republicans want you to prove who you are to vote. You were expecting like the comma and or but to come there to explain why that would be ridiculous, but there was an effective period at the end of that sentence, and you're just supposed to be in shock and awe because they're sitting there saying, yeah, you need to prove who you are to vote. It's so wildly popular. I just don't understand why we can't actually get the job done. It's incredibly frustrating, and talking about it, knowing that the more we talk about, this is politically going into the midterms. I feel like the more we talk about it, the more of a disappointment it's going to be when it doesn't pass.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is that for a long time it was like, well, we got time on this because it probably won't be implemented by the 2026 election. We're past that now. Obviously, it's not going to be implemented by the 2026 election. So just do it. And the House has already done their job. So good for them for coming up with a creative solution to be able to do this with 50 votes in the Senate, because they didn't have to do that, but they did. And now it's just stalled sitting there for Mitch McConnell and Lisa Murkowski and Bill Cassidy and whoever it is. Was it Tom Tillis is the other one maybe?
Yeah.
Those four. One of those four is all you need.
What does Fetterman want?
Good question.
What does that guy
need? What
does
Tillis want?
Well,
what does Murkowski want?
And revenge is something that can only in this case be accomplished in the event that they actually don't get this thing passed. But you think Fetterman, think about the Fetterman votes that he's going to need to get here in his next election. I think he wants moderate votes. I think that seat stays Democrat or whatever Fetterman is calling himself at the given time if he does not play both sides of the aisle, but represent the normies in the middle in Pennsylvania who aren't looking for something that is absolutely fringe. That's what I think. Okay, so we got a YouTube live chat poll here, and I'm excited to ask this question once again because it continues to be a topic of discussion. Dave Portnoy was just out with this as well, asking about tipping culture. And, we had a big conversation recently about how I experienced at a ball game the kiosk tipping question. Actually, it was on one of the little card readers. It was one of the small. I don't think it matters. It's the same thing. One of the smaller card readers. You go to pay, and it told you could tip 0. I think it was 10, 15, or 20. Or no, it was 0, 15, 20, or other. So you could tip anything. And I was getting 2 hot dogs and 2 sodas for $32 in this instance. And I was at the walk-up desk for a grand total of no more than 3 minutes. And when I quickly hit 0, because I was trying to get out of there, okay, I'm a bad person. I promise you, the next 3 times I went to the ballpark to get something, I tipped. I felt like I had to atone for my sins. This woman hollered out that I did not tip and told everybody within earshot at a loud voice I didn't tip. So we have had that conversation before, but now there's a lot of people having a discussion just in general about kiosk tipping overall.
I already know this midday Randall's going to be the quickest of the quicks. It's a simple question. Who we tipping at a kiosk? Fast food spot, I use the kiosk. It still asks for a tip. Who am I tipping? The machine? The robot? What you gonna do with my money? The kiosk. Why are we asking for tips? It's me doing the work. If anything, I should tip myself, but that's still my own money. See? Makes no sense.
So he's asking, when you put that tip in at the kiosk, this is a really important part of this question. Where does the money go? I would assume, my best guess is that the tip money comes into a pool and then maybe gets added across the amount of hours that anybody works in a given pay period. If you got $100 that came in and 10 people who worked in that pay period, everybody gets an extra $10 on their paycheck. But is that what a tip is really supposed to be? So we're asking you today, the YouTube poll is, do you tip at a payment kiosk? Yes, sometimes, or no? Because there might be some gray areas in there where maybe it does turn into a sometimes. I think a lot of you are yes or no's. Dave Portnoy was talking about this in regards to, I can't remember exactly where he was, but he's like, if you walk up to the thing, I always want to play Portnoy clips. He always makes it so I can't. When you walk up to make a payment for food and you're serving yourself and you're at the kiosk, also, a lot of these kiosks never have a human involved. So it's not just the one that turns around at the coffee shop or whatever. You can go to McDonald's and order your whole meal right there. I don't think McDonald's is asking for tips yet. But there's that famous video that's going on right now with Shake Shack where you order through the platform there, pay and everything, and they're asking you to tip. Where does that money go? Is this a way for employers to pay their people more without having to bear the burden of that higher pay themselves? I don't know where that money goes, but we want to know from you if you actually do participate in that tipping situation. Is it complicated? Does it depend on the situation for you, Ryan?
Well, if there is a person there and the person did something and they're just flipping it around, then you're just using an electronic version of payment. So that's not as much the kiosk. If you're talking about walking up and ordering yourself at a kiosk, I will never tip in that situation.
And you don't care that
No.
everybody can see you hit 0.
I would hope that everybody would learn a lesson from my example.
The bellwether, Ryan Wiggins, on the heck no, I'm not tipping. YouTube.com/@Annie Frey. Find us on the YouTube app. Just type in Annie, Frey, and vote in our live chat poll on the live broadcast. Send us your text messages, 314-241-9797. Hans von Spakovsky next. Don't go away. Let's talk about Stewart's American Mortgage. Stewie is your guy for your new mortgage, your mortgage refinance, whichever situation you're personally in, you want to make sure you get out of it with the best financial circumstances for you. And that starts with a phone call, even a text message to Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage. You go to 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. And talk to Stewie about a bagel loan. A bagel loan means $0 in closing costs when you go to get that new mortgage, that mortgage refinance, that cash out refinance. Stewie is there to guide you through the whole process, which is going to be very quick, I might add. Stewie can close in less than 2 weeks. When you start this process, it's going to be over before you know it, and he's looking after you the whole time. So reach out to him directly. It's his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, and ask about the bagel loan. If you're looking for a new home purchase and you're seeking out that 30-year loan on that new purchase, you can use the bagel loan, meaning no closing costs, but he'll also offer you for the first year of that 30-year loan a 1% decrease in the interest rate that you're paying. So reach out directly, 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Hear it, but Missouri is falling behind in its spending of state tax dollars, education, and health care. But there are ways to get Missouri moving forward again and produce a better life for all of us. That's why we at the Show Me Institute put together a 2026 Missouri Blueprint, a roadmap on how the state can move to a brighter future. The blueprint covers policy ideas from taxes to government transparency, from education to healthcare and budget reform. Let's allow students to attend the school of their choice. Let's adopt new proven methods to help the many school kids who can barely read. Let's limit state spending growth for Missouri's long-term financial stability. And let's invest in future needs with more nuclear energy. Why not common sense reforms to make things better for all Missourians? Check out our 2026 Missouri Blueprint, moving Missouri forward at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Your donation to our campaign is more critical right now than ever before. Let me explain. Thanks to LA's Supermatch program, every qualified donation from Los Angeles residents is matched 6-1 by the city. But after the primary, we had to start over from scratch. So we need you to rush your matching donation right now to help fuel this campaign. Chip in $5 right now, and the city turns it into $35. Chip in $25 right now, and the city turns it into $175. Make your matching donation today. Thank you so much.
Well, that's Karen Bass for mayor. What is happening in Los Angeles? Let's talk to our friend Hans von Spakovsky, Advancing American Freedom Senior Legal Fellow, as well as a former FEC commissioner. Hans, were you able to see that Karen Bass plea to the people of Los Angeles or anyone to send your donations in? Why? Well, because they can match them with city funds.
Yeah, that kind of public funding program really ought to outrage taxpayers, because it means that their tax money, their taxes, are being used to fund the campaigns of candidates running for office. And that, to me, I would strenuously object to that if I was living in LA, because I'd be saying, my tax money shouldn't be used to support the candidacies of people who I would never vote for. But unfortunately, LA is not the only place that has that kind of public funding program. Other cities do too, and that's just an unfortunate consequence of what I consider to be bad reforms.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that you could be, one of the few Republicans in Los Angeles who doesn't want Karen Bass to be elected, or maybe the other person that's running, Nithya Raman, and find out that regardless of your participation at all in the election, that tax dollars that are being taken out of your paycheck for the city would be going to fund more of this. Is it common for city funds, for taxpayer public dollars, to be used in this type of capacity? Is this unique to Los Angeles?
No, it's not unique, but there aren't many places that have this kind of program. Now, there is a federal funding program for people running for a president, but it's funded through voluntary contributions by folks filing their tax returns. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but at the end of your IRS tax form, it always has a little question. Would you like to make a voluntary contribution to that public funding program? And while initially, when this was first passed, lots of people contributed, over the past 40 years, it has just declined to the point where hardly anybody gives any money to it.
Yeah, I've seen that before, and I'm always like, well, wherever this money is going, I don't trust that. So it's a no from me. I wanted to ask you are you familiar with this story that has released here about Act Blue and the way those donations come in? That it seems as though Act Blue is in a bit of some trouble here. The, I guess, total apparatus behind how most Democrats are funded. I'll just read from the Fox News report here real quick for those listening who may be unfamiliar. Act Blue co-founder Matt DeBergalis, I hope I said that right, pleaded the Fifth Amendment during his closed-door deposition before key House committees. Sources familiar with the matter told Fox News Digital. The Committee on House Administration, House Oversight Committee, and House Judiciary Committee are conducting a joint investigation into Act Blue, a massive fundraising platform for Democrats, over allegations that lax fraud prevention standards may have allowed foreign donations to seep into United States campaigns. His deposition, which was scheduled for Thursday morning, lasted less than a half an hour. Fox News saw him entering and exiting the committee room within roughly 25 minutes. Can you talk to us at all about Act Blue and what accusations they're facing?
Sure. I was actually on the Federal Election Commission when Act Blue first went to the FEC and set up and asked whether it be legal for them to set up a new kind of candidate contribution system. Before that, if you wanted to contribute to a federal candidate, you'd have to send them directly the money. And what Act Blue said is, we're going to set up a website so that people can send us the money, tell us which Democratic candidate they want the money to go to, and we'll do it for them. And they said, well, to make it a lot easier, if somebody sends us $1,000 and says, I want you to split that between these 5 candidates while we can take care of it for them. The problem has been in the last couple of years is there's all kinds of evidence that has surfaced that, first of all, once they got hold of people's credit card numbers, some investigations showed they would continue to make contributions that those people didn't know about, often in very small amounts, constant $5, $10, $20 contributions. The other thing apparently they were not doing was, because they accept credit card donations, if you get a credit card donation and it's from someone abroad, you should not be accepting that unless that person can produce a passport or other documentation showing they're actually a U.S. citizen, and there are allegations that Act Blue was not doing that. And so these committees are investigating, well, did they allow foreign contributions to go to Democratic candidates? And that's what he was apparently taking the Fifth Amendment about.
I mean, you want to make sure that you know where the money is coming from. This is a conversation that I often want to have. You might be the right person to have it, but what is it? Citizens United and people refer to dark money all the time, and campaign donations is free speech. what is it about, like, if there's huge amounts of money that are flooding into these campaigns and they're coming through corporations, it does seem like the opportunity for a workaround for nefarious dollars to make it to candidates that maybe don't have the best interests of the United States of America at heart. Can you give me like a 30,000-foot view as to the funding of our campaigns? Do you have concerns with the way we do it right now?
Well, keep in mind this idea that corporations contribute to federal candidates is not true. That's been banned for many, many, many decades. No corporations contribute directly. What confuses people is that if you make a contribution, let's say you contributed to Hillary Clinton, you have to provide information on your name, your address, and who you work for. And so often reporters will look at those reports and say, oh, IBM or some other company gave all this money to this particular candidate. No, people working there within the company did, but the company didn't give that money. Now, companies can form political action committees, but those can only be funded by voluntary contributions from the officers and managers of those companies. So, again, this idea that there's huge amounts of corporate money going directly to candidates, that's not true. Can corporations spend money on political ads telling you, hey, don't vote for this particular candidate because they want to pass laws that would void our business and throw all our employees out of work? That they can do.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Hans, we're going to continue to watch. I know it is an issue that gets talked about a lot, and I study these types of things, and it confuses me. So it's always great. I'm always grateful to have you on the show to give us some clarity to the subject. Thanks for being with us, Hans. It's good to speak with you again.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye. Hans von Spakovsky is a trusted voice here on the Annie Frey Show, Advancing American Freedom, senior legal fellow, former FEC commissioner, as well as DOJ lawyer, and grateful to have him weigh in on that. It's nice when you know that much about elections to be able to dip into that.
The thing about that Karen Bass story is not just that she actually legally can do that, but how would you feel? She's publicizing that.
I was like, this is so drippily gross.
Yeah, it's something that oh, well, if this area does that, that's probably going on. But to come out and go, hey, every dollar that you give us will be matched by other dollars you've already given us.
And that other people have given, even given us. That we've taken.
By the way, if you don't vote for me, you're still matching every donation.
Oh, barf. And Karen Bass, man, she looks like a Batman movie villain. I can't get over it. It's hard for me to buy into. All right, let's get to the text line when we come back. 314-241-9797. Do you tip at a payment kiosk? You can vote on the YouTube live chat. Comment there. Brad's watching for those. Ryan's got the text line. We'll be right back in a minute. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. I encourage you to call 314-271-9900 and talk to Matt Hayes about your problem in your basement. You've got water making its way in. Might be just kind of a trickle that you've noticed. Maybe the cement downstairs looks a little wet when it's rainy outside, and you're kind of just wondering, where is this coming from? How did this get in here? If you've got an old home and you know that you've got a problem that you need to deal with, that problem could be a lot bigger than you expect. But also, the truth is it could be not nearly as big as you thought it might be. So get some answers, find out what the truth is from someone you could trust, like Matt Hayes and his local team at Home Shield Foundation Repairs. Call him at 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. And if you go online to their website at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com right now, you'll see all of the different foundation repair services that they're ready to offer you. It's not all big basement waterproofing. There's a lot of foundation repair things they can do for you, but it starts with that phone call. 314-271-9900 online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
They're offering you 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $119. That's $106 in savings. You can book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of the savings.
Tony LaRussa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. When we meet our clients for the first time, they have built up a lifetime of savings. Their question is, what can we do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? First, we develop a strategy to protect your nest egg from any market losses. Then, we build your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money.
You've earned it, and it's our job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You will also get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 40 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Welcome to Verizon Small Business Days as a business expert meets Patty of Patty's Diner. They're looking through Patty's tech and plans, and Patty scores great deals on business internet and One Talk, plus a free 5G phone. Score a meeting with a Verizon business expert August 17th to the 30th. Call 1-800-483-4428 or go to verizon.com/SMB days. Available for select 5G phones. New line device payment agreement and MyBiz plan with $5 a month add-on spending required. Applicable credit applied to account over agreement term up to 36 months. Terms apply. Offer ends 8/30/2026.
We're asking you today, do you tip at a payment kiosk? Yes, sometimes, or no? It's the YouTube live chat poll. Let us know what you think. We will be sharing some of your texts here shortly and throughout the show. You can also chime in on our live stream where we actually are asking you to vote in the question there on the YouTube page. But if you want to text in, 314-241-9797. It is 12:34. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
2026 is a year to celebrate. America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Group of Australians out here in Los Angeles, and we've been here for about a week in the United States. I've seen articles of the locals getting annoyed at Australians and other tourists for not tipping because it's not normal to tip in their own country. And to be honest, when I first got here, I wasn't tipping anyone. I was like, stuff that. Oh, it's already expensive. Why am I going to tip someone? They're already getting paid by their boss. But then now, a week in, I realised, you know what? It's actually a better system. In Australia, we just, as an employer, you pay your employee just for rocking up to work. Regardless of whether they do a good job or not, they get paid. But here you get rewarded for a better job, and you know what I realised? The service here is 10 times better than in Australia. And so I'm not even tipping 10, 15, 18% anymore, like the recommended, or 20%. I'm tipping 100%.
All right, 100%. Australians, go back home. Just kidding. Just kidding. Everybody relax. So you've got the tipping conversation. It's one that won't go away. It feels like an easy conversation to have on the radio, but for every time we talk about it, I probably pass up 10 stories or 10 days where it is leading in the discussion in the social media space, which means that people are very, very plugged into the conundrum that we all face when we go to buy our normal everyday goods. I think, can we just say as a blanket statement, if you're sitting at a table and someone is serving you, you better tip, and you better tip well for a job well done.
Certainly.
So that's not what we're talking about.
No.
If you walk up to the counter and you're talking to someone who's standing at a cash register, and then you put the card in and then you pay, and the opportunity to tip is an option when you're sticking your debit card in the machine while you're standing there waiting for them to hand you your food. That's kind of what we're talking about, but it's gone even further now, because now the kiosks, where you never actually encounter a person really in the entire transaction of when you walk into a store and order food, and then it shows up, maybe you have a number at your table and they bring it to your table, or you get a, I don't know,
It's
notification
at the
or
counter.
something. It's
You
at the
go
counter.
pick it up usually.
That's what we're talking about. You got any texts over there?
Yeah, we've got some text. I want to add really quick, though, that, and this is just anecdotal, that I've really noticed that people who are standing at the counter, they know that this is a conversation now. Because I felt like right after COVID, when it all was switching, there was still a lot of pressure. And again, this is just my experience. But the people who are flipping those things around now, they almost know, like, hey, it's there. You got to hit a button.
So you're saying that the people at the counter are acting maybe a little, not embarrassed, but
they know that this
non-pushy.
is a cultural touch point at this point, which it is. Like you said, this is coming up a lot in socials and conversation. Anytime we talk about it,
I have had people
really engage.
I've had people turn it around and reach over and hit no. You ever had that happen?
Wait, say that again.
So like they're doing the thing, they run the food.
Oh, they
turn
person,
it around or whatever. They're
the
like,
worker does.
Oh, you need to. They might tell you like what your next step is, but they'll reach over and they will pick no tip. I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I'm like, well, now I kind of want to tip you.
Right, because you're like, oh, thank you for acknowledging that this is a thing.
Like you're not entitled. Isn't it just the entitlement?
And what I've noticed too is not just that they're like, oh, sorry about this, because some will just sort of have this kind of general like, sorry, over attitude about you got to hit a button or whatever. But I've also seen people say, yeah, you got to hit that button and not be like apologetic about it. But then they will turn away so that they're not looking at you while you do it subtly.
I feel like that's internal shame.
But it's
I want to know.
Though.
I want to know. There needs to be a law that says that, and maybe this is already the case, and I don't know it. And does it need to be a law? That might be a little excessive, but yeah, it needs to be a law. I don't want them to be able to see what I push. I don't want it to pop up on the screen in front of them. There's the little shield around when I put my PIN number in. It should say press, like 1, 2, 3, or 4 for whatever your tip option is or something like that. It should be a secret so that I can push 0 in private.
I know.
I don't want it.
This person texted in a really good point, and thank you for the text. I mean, I'm trying to read through all of them here, but I grabbed this one just because they're making a different point than I think that we've talked about. It says, I never tip at a kiosk because those people make minimum wage. Waiters and waitresses don't make minimum wage. So
because
there is
they're
a difference.
tipped.
Exactly. And so they're adding tipping to a job that's already minimum wage, and that, again, go back to the same argument that you're not really, they're not walking out doing anything technically for you other than what they're supposed to be doing.
Any YouTube comments over there, Brad?
Yes, I've got a comment here from Dirk, and Dirk says, I have never tipped at a kiosk. If I order and pay at a kiosk, no way will I tip. But I think everyone should tip at a Busch Stadium concession stand.
Okay, all right, Dirk. I
And-
get it. I'm a bad person.
And then he said, just kidding.
Oh, thanks.
A lot of people, just real quick, just kind of
Dirk was
rolling
probably
through.
2 people in line behind me. And for shaming me, I wonder how many people that heard that after me were like, okay, fine, 10%.
That's probably why they did it. This
It was
person
the
says
sacrificial lamb.
a big no right afterwards. If I'm standing when I'm ordering, I'm not tipping. This person says sometimes, but just for the $1 for the person making my food. Don't servers share their tips with bussers and cooks? Servers do.
Yeah, when my
Sometimes.
first job, PK's restaurant in Edwardsville, RIP, and I was a busser, was 16, and the servers were supposed to pool all their tips no, not necessarily. They were supposed to tip out 10% into a pool, and then if there were 2 bussers working that night, we split that. Bologna sausage that those people tipped out 10%. They're like, here's your $8, Annie. I'm like, I worked for 7 hours.
Yeah. You were not making minimum wage either, right?
$3 an hour.
But was that minimum wage?
$5.
That's
an
what
hour.
I thought.
No, I mean, I did not. I did the math sometimes. Now I was 16 and I didn't need money for anything really. It was spending money, funny money. But at the end of the, I remember getting a paycheck and going to the bank, and I put a whole paycheck was $40,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, I don't really know if this is worth it. Because I was, a student. That year I had to sit out sports because I transferred from Edwardsville High School back to a smaller school. So I had to sit out 3 seasons of sports. So I had time on my hands. So I needed something to do and everything. But I was like, this is a 2-digit paycheck. I'm going to tell you what, though. In the year 2000, $40 would go a lot farther than what if you're a kid and you got $40, you can have a few good times on that.
I very much remember that. I worked a tip job too. I worked at multiple golf courses over the span of my teens and college years. And yeah, we worked for tips for sure. We were the ones that rode out to the car with you, drove your cart back for you so you could leave it there.
So much of that is customer service.
Yeah, and we tried to do a really good job. We'd clean off everybody's clubs and stuff, and sometimes people just wouldn't tip you, and you're like, dang, it's pretty bold, but okay.
Yeah.
But you'd come back, and the good ones, we'd always say, yeah, we got a fin. It was a $5 tip.
Uh-huh.
That was a big deal then, $5, because that money, man, you walk away. I was barely in college, and I remember walking away some nights with $50 cash in my pocket, feeling like I own the world.
Yeah.
You could go so far with that.
Yeah.
Just going out with my buddies and, college time, man, that was a lot of money.
You can't go on a 2-person date to an average restaurant right now if you want a drink or a dessert and come out for $50.
Yeah.
With tip.
Yeah, if you're real careful, you could maybe get a meal with water with the tip.
Hot date.
Yeah.
All right, this is Wiggins America's next, and it says Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the Dark Side. So I have a few stories here, 3 or 4 stories that are just bizarre, a little off-putting, and we're going to go through them in kind of a Halloween fashion because you have inspired me.
Spooky season?
That you're like, there's a crisp in the air. Okay, now it's Halloween.
Now, officially, we'll bob for apples here at the top of the hour as well. We'll be right back. Wiggins America next. So I'm so excited to be working out at the Exercise Coach. I was there yesterday morning. I still feel it a little bit today. And would I tell you that I'm in and out in 25 minutes with a full lift, full workout, cardio, and everything. I am telling you the God's honest truth. And this has even been, I think that the full time that I was actually in the building was 29 minutes, but I was a little chatty and stuff, in and out. This is the solution you've been looking for. Now, if you're looking to invest in yourself, if you are to the point now where, you've got some time and you've also got the focus, maybe you've been able to drop some weight, but you want to build the muscle a little bit. I'm not talking about going to get super buff. I'm not talking about going to get ripped, but you could. I'm talking about targeted, focused exercise, tailored and coached the entire way through those 25 minutes so that you get the burn that you need to live a healthier, more fulfilling life. It starts at the Exercise Coach, and they've got locations all around the St. Louis area, and I'm encouraging you right now to experience the Exercise Coach difference for yourself. Your first 2 sessions, they're going to be free. You're going to be able to work with somebody who's going to guide you through this process. All you need to do is search the Exercise Coach online. Exercise Coach near me to find one of the 8 greater St. Louis area locations for yourself. And tell them Annie sent you. They'll be happy to hear it.
For Focus Marines Foundation, proceeds go straight to supporting our veterans. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A-plus rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins!
Oh! Wiggins!
I wish she was actually talking about milkshakes because
I
I
think
would
she
come
is.
to the yard.
I think
love milkshakes.
It could be what you want it to be.
Okay. Well, then I just want a nice peanut butter or vanilla milkshake. That's all I want. This is
Peanut butter with vanilla, or peanut butter with a vanilla base or a chocolate base?
Oh, no. Vanilla base, 100%. I don't want a chocolate base of anything.
That's my favorite protein shake.
Peanut butter? Or just vanilla?
Peanut butter powder
Yeah.
instead of peanut butter
In vanilla.
in a vanilla protein shake.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Those
Maybe
are
a
great.
banana if I'm
Scooters
feeling-
has something like that. It's like a peanut smoothie.
Yeah, you made me buy it for you.
Uh-huh. And I will next time you ask me if I want Scooters as well. So this is a different kind of Wiggins America as we move into the cooler season. Of course, it's the middle of August, but we're already looking ahead to Halloween because all the stores told us we have to.
Yeah.
This is going to be...
You listen closely. Hey, kids.
You're talking about Christmas.
I know.
I'm saying we still have to deal with
Halloween is the beginning of Christmas season.
I saw Halloween decorations going up in July this year,
Were you
and
pumped?
that makes me mad.
Okay.
Once you get to August, for some reason, I'm like, I'm indifferent, but I'm not mad. But this is a new segment. It's going to be called Tales from the Dark Side.
Okay.
There we go.
It wasn't my fault.
There is, unseen by most, an underworld. A place that is just as
Is this
real,
Twilight Zone?
but not as brightly lit. A dark side.
Yes.
Is this a music bed?
Yeah, it's a music bed.
You could have given me a little more information here.
Yeah, you just let it play.
Real quick, don't you get the feeling that people of generations gone by, they had more time on their hands? They talk so slow.
Oh, yeah. 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 So this is a
I'm like, get to it, man.
beautiful music bed that I've created for this segment from the show Tales from the Dark Side, by the way. I didn't even rename it. It's just the show was called Tales from the Dark Side.
Can we do the segment Tales from the Dark Side?
At some point.
Okay.
I'll get there. The first story that I have for Tales from the Dark Side is that a new technique is pinpointing human DNA inherited from ghost ancestors. While previous research found hints that modern humans had interbred with ancient hominins, in addition to now extinct Neanderthals and Denisovans.
Grok, rewrite script with easier words.
If you're watching this after we've done it, do not read the captions. A new study by UC Berkeley researchers pinpoints areas of the genome inherited from unknown ancestors. There should have been reverb on my voice right there. Did that come through?
Yeah.
And establishes a timeline.
I'm hearing something.
This
It's
was
hard to
possible
pinpoint.
using a new technique that the researchers developed that leverages hundreds of genomes from modern-day humans to find ancient genealogical relationships.
And by ancient, you mean ancient.
No, I don't. I don't say ancient. I say
Neither
ancient
do I.
the way that it's intended in English. And it's scary. I just restarted the music.
We could hear it.
That's a lot of work into this.
Paul, I know. That's why I'm not criticizing it.
Thank you.
I want to salute the effort.
Thank you very much.
And in a weird way, the execution.
Thank you. Now we're going to pause it.
Okay.
And then we're going to read you a news story. There is a new...
Wait, so this isn't scary?
No, it's a new story.
How am I supposed to know?
You will in a second.
The music's not playing.
There's a new mind control drug being used to rob unsuspecting tourists in Latin America. And it's real. These are real stories, by the way. The doctors call it, I don't know, scopolamine?
I don't know.
But it's known as devil's breath.
Devil's lettuce.
Extracted from the seeds of the trumpet-shaped Burgosmania flower, which blooms resplendent pinks, yellows, and whites across South America's Andean regions. Scopolamine, a.k.a. the devil's breath, is tasteless and odorless.
Okay.
And doses as small as 10 milligrams can induce a zombie-like state of compliance. It goes into
That's what I feel like I need for this segment.
It goes into a story about American tourists who are doing some not-so-savory things in Latin America, and apparently that's the way that this is used. So if you're not going down to Venezuela and trying to do menages, you're not going to worry about this drug too much, because it is used primarily in the sex industry to drug possible customers.
I don't think they're customers if you're drugging them. I
Well,
think they're victims.
I think at that point they become victims.
No!
And the weird thing about this drug, and they go into the story about it, some guy named Mark who went down there to have a little bit of a tryst himself, and he was with two ladies.
Mark?
Yeah, Mark
That's
was
all we
with
know about
two
him?
ladies. And
Heterosexual Mark.
They convinced him under the usage of the drug to give them the password to his safe. And he apparently did, because he's just zoned out on this drug. The weird thing is, too, when they go to find if it was in your system, they can't, because it is processed through your body so quickly that by the time you get tested...
So how do I avoid this?
It's out of there.
Venezuela?
Don't go to Latin America.
Okay.
Don't hire prostitutes. And then go back to some other location with them, although in this case, it was just Mark's hotel room.
Okay. All right.
So those are things you can avoid. Now, one more story here that I think we can get to before we get to the end of Tales from the Dark Side.
Wait, Joe said you're in for this, but you won't dress up for Kilmeade's event. I'm going to say, no, neither. C, none of the above.
Joe, she's not in for this.
No.
Yeah, this is not Annie enjoying a segment.
No. I am really working hard on respecting the effort.
This engineer says he's found a way to overcome Earth's gravity. I'm not really sure why that's scary, but
I thought that was what was supposed to happen on August 12th.
Well, yeah, but, you know, in a sense, we've already overcome gravity. I don't know if you've ever taken a flight.
You'd consider that a victory over gravity?
But we kind of have overcome it. But, hey, the news is the news from Popular Mechanics. It says that
That's the source?
Yeah. British engineer Roger
Popular
Shawner
Mechanics.
introduced the M drive in 2001, claiming it could produce and thrust without propellant. But rigorous testing was proving it to be difficult to manage. By just a couple years ago, though, they had found that his technology was correct, that he was using what's the word?
It's the
Electric
worst radio
fields.
in the history of
He was
radio.
using electric currents and fields to propel him out of gravity. And that in the future, we may use this technology to fly
Do we still have
ourselves.
YouTube viewers?
I don't know. Well, that was a very nice transition.
Huh?
though.
Stop talking about the good things we're doing on the radio. I'm trying to cover for you, man.
Well, you did a good job.
I'm advocating for you. You said a few?
A few.
A few. Come back, please. Brian Kilmeade in the 1 o'clock hour? Don't go away.
was home and I was out in Illinois, and then as I was driving away, my fan for my air conditioner went out. I had to cross back over into St. Louis where there was bridge construction, so massive rush hour, backed up traffic, windows down, sweating. I had to take it straight to the dealership to drop it off because there's no way I can function, much less work, without air conditioning in my truck. And I'm the same way in my house, and every homeowner, not every homeowner, but most homeowners are the exact same way. So if you're experiencing difficulties with your air conditioner, meaning you have none, call me, Bart Inman, and it's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, Missouri and Illinois. Call me. God bless.
I want to talk about Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com. There are 3 good reasons you should talk with Greg. 1, your health insurance premium is too high. Well, Greg saves most people 30 to 60% on their monthly premiums. 2, your deductible is too high. Well, with most of Greg's plans, you will have no deductible or out-of-pocket expenses. 3, your doctor doesn't take your plan. Well, you can use Greg's plans at most any doctor or hospital in the country. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, an expert with over 40 years' experience, at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. Greg will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government. Because you don't know what you don't know about your health insurance coverage.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Closing arguments could come Monday. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Testimony has already ended for the day in the Massachusetts murder trial of Lindsay Clancy, accused of killing her 3 children.
The jury heard from new defense witness Sheila Kavanaugh, the hospital chaplain who met Lindsay Clancy the morning after she killed her 3 children. Kavanaugh testified that Lindsay blamed a male voice in her head for doing that, but prosecutors challenged her, noting she documented other details in her notes, but never mentioned the voice.
And the voice, according to Lindsay, told her that if she did not follow the command, neither she nor her children would be safe.
The prosecution says Lindsay was not psychotic, and these were planned, deliberate murders.
Fox's Brian Yennis reporting hundreds of supporters gathered outside the courthouse today, calling this a mental health system failure. 20 people kicked out of the U.S. by the Trump administration arrived in Liberia today. The African country has agreed to accept 1,200 illegal immigrants removed from America. President Trump threatens to pour on the pressure against Iran as the war nears the half-year mark.
What he is calling economic D-Day against Iran.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
The president posting to Truth Social saying no one has given the Islamic Republic of Iran a greater opportunity to make a deal than me. Tragically for them, they have failed to take it. Therefore, today, I am announcing the most crushing economic operation ever taken against any country.
More threats and stalled negotiations are pushing crude prices higher. U.S. crude is up 2.5% at $86.51 a barrel. And a U.S. Army unit at Fort Stewart, Georgia, is offering its troops a special bonus if they re-enlist soon. 4 extra days off, timed around the November release of the video game Grand Theft Auto 6. America's listening to Fox News.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil, one simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
We have a wonderful stretch of weather coming up, all thanks to the northwest flow. We love it in the summertime, partly sunny and nice. 83 for the high this afternoon. As our days get shorter, tonight clear skies, upper 70s. Once that sun goes down, 67. Friday sunny, it's a touch warmer, 88, but we can still handle it. Saturday sunny and 86, Sunday sunny and 83. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Our poll question for today, you can vote on the YouTube channel. We're broadcasting live there today, as per every day. Do you tip at a payment kiosk? Yes, sometimes, or no? Let's talk about the other side of this. You talked a little bit, Ryan, earlier about the workers that are involved and how you've noticed that there are some workers who are almost shying away from it, kind of diminishing it in a way that interaction, that relationship that the person buying the cheeseburger meal and the person punching it into the computer, that there's kind of a more noticeable, I get it and it's stupid type of an attitude. There's a New York Post article here by Natalie O'Neill. So much for scooping ice cream if you're Gen Z. Only about a third of American teenagers had summer jobs this year compared to more than half 3 decades ago. So they're saying that kids aren't getting summer jobs the way that they used to. Fewer Gen Zers are donning embarrassing uniforms to work for peanuts in the heat, with just 35.5% of 16 to 19-year-olds holding gigs this summer, according to Pew Research Center. By contrast, more than half of teens had summer jobs in 1996, according to the researchers who analyzed federal unemployment numbers. Still, the amount of teens with jobs in June and July was up a couple percentage points from last year's 33.8%, with roughly 19,500 more teens working. I don't know. This is one of those things that I'm doing as a parent that I don't have any idea if I'm doing the right thing. I can see a brutal negative consequence if I do or if I don't. But my son, he really wants to have a job. He really wants to get a job. He is a junior in high school, and he's taking, my husband just went to the back to school night last night at the high school, and I love that this Lutheran high school does this. They have a back to school night, and as a parent, you show up, I don't know, maybe they spend 10, 15 minutes welcoming you, and then you go walk through your kid's schedule. So they have like a 10-minute bell or something like that. Every 10 minutes, you go to the next class, but the teachers are in there. So all the parents actually go from class to class to class to class so that you can experience what your kid is doing, have a conversation with the teacher. The teacher can say, this is our expectations for the class for this semester, so on and so forth. But my son is taking, this could be a Friday poll. Charlie would love that. My son is taking, I think, 4 dual credit classes and 1 AP class. If he passes all of those classes, he will finish his junior year with 18 college credit hours.
Oh, boy.
Wow, that's really good.
That's like more than a semester. Yeah. Most semesters I was taking 12 credit hours when I was in college. I was working and I was coaching and I was doing that type of stuff. But 18 credit hours, I mean, it's over the course of a year.
Mm-hmm.
But still, out of your junior year, and then I don't know if he can double that or something his senior year. I say all this not to brag on my son, but I am incredibly proud of him. He's got to pass them. He knows that. But that's a huge academic load. He's playing golf in the fall. He's playing basketball in the winter. And he's playing baseball in the spring. Come summer, he'll be on his travel baseball team. All things that he wants to do. No one's making him do it. He wants to have a job. And in this past summer, I had some family friends who were like, no, I made my kid get a job. He needs to get up and he's not sleeping in all summer. he's getting up and he's going to work, and the kid's a great kid, and the family's a great family, and all that. And I was sitting here the whole time going, I want Charlie to be a kid. He's got like a couple years left of wringing every drop of being a kid out before he has to go meet in the real world. But I don't know, maybe there's this kind of purgatory transition time where he does need to go get a job and work. I didn't make him do it. He's asking for it, but I'm telling him, like, Charlie, you can't go talk to someone and be like, I'd like to have a job, and be like, I'm available for 3.5 hours during the week, and it's not consecutive.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, nobody's going to want to hire you for that. So he's talked about, we've talked about maybe having him get involved in like local politics and maybe walking doors and stuff like that for some people I know. We've talked about just doing like handiwork for people so he can make some money. But I don't even know that that's actually like the job experience where you have a time that you have to be somewhere and a paycheck at the end of the day where you're seeing on that paycheck, here are your state income taxes. Here is your Social Security line. Here are your federal income taxes that is being taken out of your paycheck. I don't know what to do. I don't know the right thing. My son is not a bum who's sleeping in all day till noon and getting up so he can relocate to a different couch. But he's going to be 17 in December.
Really worry about the everyday, the schedule stuff. You know, he's gonna have a weird schedule being off in the summer and back at school, and just getting ready to go to college. So any work is a job, and even if it's inconsistent, if he's doing some random handyman work, or if he's just picking up flyers every now and then.
But should he go to Dick's Sporting Goods, which is where he really wants to work? Should he try to get a job there?
Well, if he wants something more structured, sure. But if he wants to pick up extra work here and there, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Oh, I encourage him to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not telling him like, no, don't go pull weeds for Betty down the street. I'm just telling him you don't need to go get an hourly job right now, because I don't think that I don't think he can handle it.
That's what you're saying. He wants to do that though.
He thinks he does.
He wants to try it.
He has to study every night. He's got golf after school. He's got to sleep.
What is his motivation for wanting a job?
He wants money.
Okay, that's great. Because I was going to, and this
he wants money that he can just spend. Because if he's going out with his buddies and he's like, hey, we're going to get lunch, would you mind? I'll give him, it's usually got to be $15 or $20 just to make sure that he's got enough on his Venmo card. I have before, paid him for different types of accomplishments, kind of like if it's a grade or if it's, some sort of athletic thing, a goal that he's like, I've incentivized him that small amounts, but he might make $10 or $15 in a week. And he spends that money too when he's out with his buddies before he asks me for more. And I'll say this as well. When they get money for birthdays and Christmas, it goes in their savings account. So they don't really have spending money. So I appreciate that he wants it. I just don't think he can commit to it. I don't know.
I really, beyond Charlie, but he kind of would fit into my theory here, because you opened by talking about how only a third of teenagers, or whatever it is, 16 to 18 or something like that.
35.5% of 16 to 19-year-olds had summer gigs.
Yeah, so roughly a third based, and then back a couple decades, you'd have roughly half. So there's less people of that age working jobs. I really think that's probably technology-based, because it used to be when we were at that age, we would want to go get a job because we wanted some more independence, because we wanted maybe a car, we wanted to be out with our friends. And it sounds like that's what Charlie wants too.
You know what we also were? Bored.
We were bored. And that's what I'm saying, is that you can connect with your friends so much easier now and really have relationships with people without going and seeing them as much. So I don't know that kids feel like they need to get out to experience that as much, so they don't need his money and cars and stuff.
Yeah, he wants to go out with his buddies, and they'll go fishing, they'll go swimming, they'll go eat at a restaurant, maybe go to the movies, go to the driving range, that type of stuff. So, it's like normal, typical high school dude stuff. And he truly does. I do believe this. He would like to earn money that he spends without having to ask me for money all the time. And he doesn't really ask all the time for money, but you gotta be able to participate, I just, I really feel like if he were to get a job, it would have to take away from something else he's doing right now. And it's unacceptable that it takes away from school. And if you're gonna play on a sports team, you got to be fully committed to that. You can't be missing practices or games or meets or whatever because you got to go work at, Target or something like that. Do you think it's a problem? I mean, you're saying that this 35% here, do you think they're just unmotivated? They just don't have a drive to go. The reason why it's down is kids aren't going, I need this.
No, it's based on what they need, because at that age you need connection with friends. You that's what you desire. You want to be a part of the atmosphere. You want to be a part of what's going on.
A little separation from home too, probably.
And independence. And that has moved from being something you had to do outside the house to something that you can kind of do in the house. You can't entirely do it, but you can do it much more than you used to be able to. And to look at a short period of time, like 2 months, which is what summer vacation is at this point, 2.5 months, and say, oh, I have to have a job to make money during this 2 months. You don't really need to. You can get by connecting with your friends without a lot of money because you got it all digital now.
The one thing that I really would like, that I think he would really benefit from having a job, is being accountable to somebody for something. I say that like he's not accountable to anybody for anything. He is. But somebody who's independent, who doesn't have to love him,
Yeah.
like somebody who's not going to forgive him at the end of the day and pet the top of his head if I can reach it anymore and be like, it'll be okay.
It's tough at that age because you are working jobs that are not super desirable because you don't have the skills yet. You're just getting your feet wet. You're figuring out how to show up on time and stuff like that. And you don't feel super valuable at a job like that. And I think that's why a lot of that age, we did it too. I'm not saying just this age now, but anybody going through that time of life complains about the sort of junk jobs that you're working because that's the work that's available to you at that moment. You don't really feel the weight of carrying something important because you're not required to yet.
Scoot said, I don't understand this, but Scoot says, Charlie should get a job at a car wash. No one loves you. What did they do to you, Scoots? I don't know what that's all about. But tell me, give me your feedback on the YouTube live chat here. We'll continue to check in. Charlie will love. I can talk about my kids so much more now because they're back in school. Woohoo! Jared told me, he goes, people say he had somebody come up to him while he was at school, before school started, getting things ready, and they're like, I get to listen so much more in the summer. I know so much more about you now. Your wife talks about you all the time. And Jared just looks at him like, well, what did she say? They can't always remember everything, but that's the cost of doing business here on the Annie Frey Show. Brian Kilmeade will be with us in about 15 minutes. Keep it here on the Annie Frey Show. Don't go away. Welcome back. So, the New York Post is a fun read. I've started going there a little more regularly. Did you hear about this story of a transgender individual, an American, reacting to President Trump's reelection and moving to Europe? Have you come across this article?
No.
Okay, this is incredible. Anthony Blair put this in the New York Post. Wrote this: a transgender American who fled the United States in a huff at President Trump's re-election has been forced to return home to escape a notorious European asylum center.
What?
Admitting that leaving was, quote, the dumbest thing I have ever done.
Asylum center? Like mental asylum?
Software engineer Jane Michelle Ark, 48, returned home to California after failing to win asylum in the Netherlands and discovering life in the notorious Ter Apel refugee camp was far more terrifying than anything under Trump's America.
He or she, whatever, was in a refugee camp in the Netherlands?
Before returning, Ark gave numerous interviews decrying the conditions at the camp, specifically referring to get this, everybody. I hope you're sitting. Are you ready?
I'm
prepared? Okay. Referring to anti-trans hostility from other asylum seekers, most from Syria, Somalia, Turkey, Algeria, and Morocco.
Well, no, duh. You're in a refugee camp?
He says, I love how he said it was more terrifying than anything under, and I quote, Trump's America.
Dude.
They hated me.
Can you imagine being a trans person in a refugee camp with all Syrians and Middle Eastern?
Where did you flee from? Donald Trump. Go home. Go back. Ark previously admitted to The Guardian, quote, this is the dumbest thing I have ever done.
Wow.
Wildly stupid decision to flee. Ark said, I hear a lot of people saying, you're an idiot. You came here from America. People will tell me, did you think about moving to California? And then I say, well, I lived in San Francisco.
Oh, my gosh.
And then they go, oh, that's heaven for gay people.
Yes. That person, whatever.
He's in a refugee camp with Somalians and Syrians. And he's like, you want to talk about the most privileged person on the face of the planet? It's the transgender refugee in a camp with Somalians saying, I couldn't live with Trump.
Hey, kudos to this guy for following through with actually leaving.
And
Most
saying,
people just say it.
Dumbest thing I ever did.
Yeah, right. I don't understand, though. Why didn't he do DEI training with them?
He should have
to
just
show them the way.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to center yourself. Ark separately told Dutch outlet Pauw News, I don't know, last month. Sounds like something from Wiggins America. Quote, the situation I have in the United States as a trans person, not good, right? But here, I will be hurt or killed.
Not good. What is bad? That you can't play? No, you actually can play most sports. Just in some areas, you can't.
The area around the camp, the largest in the Netherlands, was declared a safety risk zone following a series of stabbings and fights, according to a letter from the Dutch government reported by the NL Times. Ark conceded, quote, it is too dangerous to walk to the grocery store because of the people that live in the camp. You see these guys in yellow vests? They actually wear them because there are so many stabbings.
Wow. Yeah, it gets a little stabby in those refugee camps.
He said, quote, this place is effing dire. He wrote in one post, recalling in another being told to, quote, be careful who I hang out with and where I go, following sideways looks from Muslims.
Okay, can we also acknowledge another inconvenient fact that this story is highlighting, that there are refugee camps in the Netherlands?
You'd think it, of all the refugee camps in all the world.
I thought they just let people come in. Just thought that we were supposed to have open borders.
Ark returned to the United States last month, but quickly went back to complaining, quote, America is really, really loud and overwhelming, and everything is so expensive.
Yep,
the Dutch complain about groceries being expensive, but good grief, San Francisco is a whole different experience.
Wait. Are they saying San Francisco is more expensive than the Netherlands?
Imagine being this publicly stupid.
What is he saying?
That he can't be satisfied? I
Well,
think we can tell.
Okay, a big takeaway.
In a separate post last month, ARC admitted how much more, quote, comfortable the United States is, but still complained that the transphobia is quite overt. Less overt than the stabbiness of your refugee camp in Europe, where you left to flee Trump's America, but you came crawling back admitting that it was the dumbest thing you've ever done.
So I'm glad to hear that he did admit his error, but then come back and just keep complaining.
Which you can do here.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Safely.
You are free to do that.
In the New York Post.
You are free to do that. We are also free to make fun of you.
Yeah. Still, the trans exile admitted that before leaving, quote, I did it because I was afraid for my life. I didn't do this in secret. I talked to everybody I knew. I said, quote, I'm planning to do this wildly stupid thing. Everybody said, I don't love this for you.
Just a young girl in his dreams.
But there is no option. Yeah, I think this is what Pink Pony Club is about. They singing the song in my head now. While the estimated number of transgender individuals who have left the United States to claim asylum since Trump's reelection isn't known, like there's a person out there keeping those stats, hundreds of thousands claim to want to move to friendly states. Well, then go.
Yeah, especially intrastate.
Bye. This guy's leaving San Francisco. Where are you going to go?
So, okay, there's another really good point.
Yes.
He's saying San Francisco is too transphobic for him?
I think he's saying it's too trashy. I think he's saying that it's bad government. And we're also like, we know. We get it. What's the consistency here?
That is quite an onion to unpeel there.
Yeah. I saw that and I thought, that's a great B or not the B. But I'm doing that one on my own. I'm doing that one on my own. I mean, just imagine.
That's amazing. You know, it really it's one of those lessons that you're glad to watch it because it turns out the exact way that you anticipated.
Yeah. I don't want any harm on this guy. I don't want harm for him in San Francisco, in the United States, in Europe, this girl, guy. That's not what I want. I actually don't have the capacity to worry for all of these people. I don't want bad things to happen to them. They're adults. They're making decisions about their lives. That's a them thing, not an us thing. But imagine the privilege of being a transgender person. And as this person says in this article and quotes everywhere, I told everyone I knew. I feel like you left because you knew somebody should tell you to stop, and everyone's like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Go see for yourself. There's not a lesson we can teach you here clearly that you're not going to learn unless you go there and see for yourself how good you actually have it in the United States of America. And they're over there going, you shouldn't be here. You should try California. And he's in the mecca of no pun intended. He's in the home base of lifestyle choice freedom in San Francisco, and he can't be happy there. So can he be? I don't know that he could.
I don't know that it's possible. I was just talking to somebody this morning, and I won't out who it was, but they had a friend who was on the left. You know, this person was on the right more. The friend was on the left, and they said that the trans issue was one that they had never really discussed before, and they don't really talk politics all the time. They're just friends, but it came up in conversation, and in the course of conversation, even though the person that I was talking to is on the right and the friend is on the left, they came to the conclusion that, it's really about just protecting people. Like all these issues we talk about, you're trying to protect women in bathrooms, you're trying to protect women in sports. And outside of that, and kids. Outside of that, there's really not much we're talking about trans issues. It's just where they enter into other areas where it affects other people's rights. That's the only spot where America is having this discussion at all. Otherwise, you do what you're going to do. Nobody's telling you not to. You can do whatever you want. And those two people that I said, left and right, came to a very clear understanding that actually their positions were pretty similar.
Yeah.
Once you get down to the details and not saying, oh, tribalism and left and right. No, this is actually pretty common sense stuff we're talking about.
The awkward thing about this is that, we kind of the politically correct time frame that we went through where it was about tolerance. We really need to get back to where we tolerate one another. And I know if you're hearing this and you're on the left, you're thinking that I'm saying we should tolerate people who are transgender or whatever it might be. No, I want you to tolerate the fact that I have a set of beliefs that are mine to have that don't bother you. I'm not infiltrating on your life and how you want to live it. We should tolerate each other. That means we don't really love what's going on the other side, but we'd be willing to love each other as fellow humans. That's where we need to get back to. Anyway, I'm glad this person is home. I'll just say it that way. Brian,
welcome back.
Welcome back. Brian Kilmeade next. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. 314-271-9900 is the phone number to call right now to reach out to this local St. Louis company directly. I think you'll like Matt Hayes. I think you'll meet him and quickly understand that he is very, very, very knowledgeable when it comes to restoring your home's foundation. Commercial as well. If you've got something going on at church, at your place of business, and you need that foundation looked at, reach out to Matt Hayes and give him the opportunity to work to earn your business. You'll be glad you did. 314-271-9900 is the phone number to call. They offer a lot of different foundation repair services, the details of which you can find on their website at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. If you're looking to get that basement waterproofed, let him offer you the 0% financing for up to 24 months as well to get your home restored and to do it in a way that is budget friendly. Call 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. And reach out to Matt Hayes. Tell him Annie sent you. You can find him online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, do you tip at a payment kiosk? Your options are yes, sometimes, or no. Thanks for the text, and thanks for chiming in and voting in the YouTube live chat poll. We'll give you the results. I'm going to guess that most people are not going to say yes to this, just based on what I'm seeing on the text line.
Maybe sometimes, because that's one of the options.
Sometimes could be, depending on the situation. But I'm not going to guess that yes is going to win this one. 133, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Have better candidate matchups against these radical leftists. We have the resources This is going to be the first cycle in the history of the party where the Republicans outspend the Democrats. And then we're going to do things like the midterm convention, which, by the way, is open to the general public for the first time ever. Go to GOPconvention.com and get your tickets. But then you could join us, and we're going to be able to share all these great messaging things that the president has done for his first 2 years and basically explain to the American people the contrast that you have in November. Common sense versus absolute craziness on the left. People don't want that. We're going to barnstorm the country of the president. There's nobody better at delivering these low propensity voters than the president of the United States. He's the best showman that's ever lived, and we're going to ride him to victory.
So that's the RNC chair talking about to come here as we creep towards the midterm election. It's going to come fast and furious, of course. Brian Kilmeade joins us once again, co-anchor of Fox and Friends. Of course, the Brian Kilmeade Show that airs right into our show here. Brian, welcome back. Good to have you.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Of course. Midterms, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of talk out there. Of course, we're seeing polls that suggest the Republicans need to brace themselves, but then we're seeing polls be enormously off when these primary elections end up having. Are you feeling good about the GOP going into the midterm election here?
You know why? I think it's like talking about what kind of season the Rams or Packers are going to have before the season. That's how early I think it is. Until after Memorial Day. Until after I find out what's going on with this war. You know, are we going to win it? We're going to stay in hyperspace. We're going to leave the gas prices up, or are we going to do something to bring them down? You know, so until I see some of that, I really don't know. You know, it's still too early. We have our candidates, but if you can get gas and oil heading in the right direction, that means food's heading in the right direction. That means why would you change horses when the other side's the only thing they have is socialism and I hate Trump? Literally, that's all they have right now.
Right. We're speaking with Brian Kilmeade, who's going to be here in St. Louis, November 21st at the Factory. Always an incredible time. We'll talk about that here in a second. I am curious as your thoughts, your assessment of President Trump, his commitment to the goal. He repeatedly states the goal, no nuclear weapons for Iran, not now, not ever. You think he's still, sticking to it, staying focused, and getting the job done the right way?
Yeah. I mean, we have a military plan to amp it up where they can't keep up. The question is, do you want to do it before or after the election? Every day that goes by, we get more and more weapons upgrades, so I feel good about that. But I also feel there's a lot to be played here. Let's see if something's going to happen internally, maybe give it another week. But my sense is if Iran can play a bigger role, if they amp our attacks and cause casualties at one of our bases right in October, they know it's going to destroy the Republicans' chances of holding a substantial advantage in either chamber, and it's going to maybe plummet Trump's numbers for good, like Biden's were destroyed for good with Afghanistan. They never bounced back. So they understand our election cycle. That's why I really encourage the president to do what's inevitable, and that is amp it up even before Labor Day and finish the job. Yeah. We'll do so much damage that they fully understand that, along with the economic stranglehold, you're not going to recover. And also, why are we pretending that Russia and China aren't continuing to arm them? Why don't we tell China, you're not coming here in the fall? If I still find that you're using your ships to deliver weapons or dual-use weapons over to Iran, it's got to stop. You don't have to tell me you're doing it, but let them know. That's all in jeopardy. Is it worth it for you to lose access to our economy, to have one of these trade wars?
Brian, I think that there's, for me, I know I love listening to you talk about specifically these conflicts overseas because you're so in tune with it. You're having all the right conversations, and your intuition is always spot on in my assessment. I'm not that person. I'm in the Midwest here, raising 4 kids that are in high school and in grade school and kindergarten, and that's what my focus is in on. So I need to rely on people like you who deliver that every day on 97.1. I think that people are going to dip in and out of this as we get closer to the election, but you were talking about the economy and the cost of gas. That's really what is going to weigh a lot of people's vote when November comes. Do you think that the president is walking and chewing gum at the same time? Does that matter, or has he just got to see the job all the way through?
He is, but for him to come out and say, I'm really worried about the gas prices, that's not his speed. That's not the way you negotiate. But behind the scenes, he's focused on it, believe me. I know Doug Burgum personally, who's got part of this portfolio energy, and he says he gets calls all the time. The reason why you found out the Secretary of Energy came forward and took a risk in saying this we're getting between 5 and 8 million barrels out of the Strait a day. We wanted something like 15. That's when there's no problems. That's we have 15. But we're taking it off the Oman side. We turn off the transponders. We provide the naval escort, and we do it. So that's where our allies could help, and we're never going to forget that they did and don't. So, but there is money, and there is oil flowing in. If he didn't care about the midterms, if he wasn't zoned in, if he was just focused on that White House helipad that CNN would have you think he is, then he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. In fact, I was with the Secretary of Transportation on Monday, and he says the president's called him 4 times about the upgrade within the last 5 days, about specific upgrades of all the air traffic control centers, beginning where I was, and that was in Newark. So he's on everything from the sensors on the ground in transportation to our interceptors in Jordan. So, people could say what they want, that he's focused on the ballroom. No, that's just what he does.
Right.
He keeps going. What did he do after the helipad? Went and met with the crypto guys about the new crypto regulations and rules that are held up in the Senate. We need regulations with that. We need regulations with data centers. We need regulations with AI. And he's doing all that at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to see him, come out with an executive order, and it's on something that feels like it's out of left field, but this administration has been working on it for quite some time, and they finally achieved, the ability to put it into writing and have a signature on it. I wanted to shift gears here real quick and talk to you about your book that's coming out here. My understanding, am I right? October? Is that when it's officially being released?
October
13th?
Yeah, October 14th.
14th.
Yep, 13th.
Uniting the States, 6 crucial moments that forged an American miracle. Once people have read a Brian Kilmeade book, you kind of understand the cadence and the flow of these books. There's such history is a story, and you do such a great job of presenting it in a way that is like storytelling, is less than teaching or instructing, which makes it super consumable. Talk to me about uniting the states, especially right now in a time where not only are we divided as a country, but there are quite some divisions within the parties within our country.
I know, and it was even back then. I mean, Washington was getting hit from both sides when he left. They said, "Would you stay for a third term?" He said, "By that time, the whole country would hate me the way you guys are so divided. So I'm out." And he was, and he is, and sadly, he would die 10 years later. But what I wanted to do is get those 6 moments that I think make or break our country. Something like Louisiana Purchase, it doubles the size of the country. There was a sense in our country that we didn't want to be too big. We wanted to be the size of Europe. Just keep it on the East Coast, up and down the East Coast. Keep the Midwest for Native Americans and for Europe to colonize. But most of America was like Jefferson. I got to get this country bigger, and we need to get past the Mississippi. And to do that, we had to get the French out. So I wanted to chronicle how we did it, got Napoleon, a megalomaniac, to convince us not only to get New Orleans, but Louisiana territory. I thought that made or break our country at more than double the size. Then I said the Boston Massacre. Why? Well, it helped foment the revolution in 1770 and lay the groundwork, yes. What's more important, we learned justice. Because it turns out those soldiers, as brutal as they were and as callous as they may have been, they didn't do anything wrong that night. They were surrounded by an angry, drunk crowd, and nobody heard anybody yell fire. And they fired into the crowd eventually after one of the guys got hit. But the eyewitnesses could not say exactly what happened and exactly who started it. So John Adams represented the soldiers, and they were all basically got manslaughter or time served. They were done. And why is that important? Because we're trying to get our freedom, yes, but we got to do it the right way. We were about we were about justice. We were about the rule of law. Even before we were a country, we just said it's not right. And Adams risked his reputation to do it, and he never heard him. He became a founding father. And just, I'll give you just another one, John Quincy Adams. He was we're probably the most qualified president, but not a great one. He retires, thinks he failed, and gets asked to go back into Congress and represent Massachusetts, and then finds his mission, and that is to beat the hell out of the South for having slaves. And he would rail against the South and talk about and lead the abolitionist movement. He would inspire a guy named Abraham Lincoln who sat behind him, and also inspire a slave named Frederick Douglass who thought there is some hope in this country. So I just thought these things, these 6 moments, those are just 3 of them that help shape the country we are today, and also how fortunate we are to be the country we are today, because we needed just not to live off the Constitution. We had to grow from it. and I believe we always have.
Well, Uniting the States out in October, and you're out here in November, Brian Kilmeade, at the factory once again. What kind of show is it? If people went last time, is this book going to be a center part of the presentation you have for us?
Yeah, I'm going to be bringing the year 250, bringing America's great history to life. And I hope everyone enjoys it because we're putting the show together. We're not quite done yet, but it's going to be totally different than the one we saw last year. And that you were great with, Annie. You helped me out. I'm going to have more parts for you again. So this is going to be great.
I love,
but
Brian, I'm a skit person. I love skits. That's fantastic. Well, we are going to fill that room for you. We always do. Everyone's always excited to see you back in St. Louis, November 21st at the factory.
You guys are the best.
I'll be there, Brian. We'll see you soon.
Go get him, Annie. Thank you.
Take care. You as well. Bye-bye. Brian Kilmeade, of course, you hear him as he leads into the show every day on 97.1 FM Talk and pretty much everywhere on Fox News at any given time. Co-anchor of Fox and Friends, host of One Nation with Brian Kilmeade. And you see him on the 5, or you see him filling in the evening in prime time. But he's great. He loves St. Louis. He loves you. And he will be there on Saturday, November 21st for the next book event. These are so great. They're fun. It's the opposite of boring. So if you're into Brian Kilmeade, if you love his show, if you love him, if you love his presentation, if you love his books, this is a must attend event. Grab your tickets before they are gone. You can go to 971talk.com to figure out how to get those tickets as well. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show around the corner. We'll be right back. Ann's Bra Shop is hiring, and I'm so happy to be able to talk to you about these incredible people at Ann's Bra Shop. They are doing great work for women all across the St. Louis area in Illinois and Missouri alike. They've got multiple locations. You go to brashop.com, and if you're looking to get fitted for a bra, you're going to want to go to Ann's Bra Shop. But here's another service, a true heart service that Ann's Bra Shop provides the area, the community, the region. They help women who are dealing with breast cancer, who have gone through mastectomies. There's insurance claims that are involved in everything. This is a particular service that Ann's Bra Shop has provided for so long and continues to do, and they need your help now. If you have been looking for a job, if you've been thinking about getting into retail, about also being in service, if you're somebody who is looking for meaningful work, flexible hours, Bra Shop is looking to hire. So if this sounds like something that might be of interest to you, I want you to consider going and applying in person every day but Tuesday at one of the local Ann's Bra Shops, or you can give them a call. Reach out at 314-878-4144. I've met some of the folks there at Ann's Bra Shop. They are so fun. They would be so fun to work with. The environment is uplifting and exciting, and just actually, like I said, doing a great service to the people of this region. Call 314-878-4144. That's 314-878-4144 and inquire about employment at an Ann's Bra Shop near you. You can go to brashop.com. You guys play Halo? Brian, you strike me as somebody who is not a video game player.
Yeah, I don't play Halo.
Have you ever played, you play Mario? Are you a Nintendo guy?
Just Mario. I do play old Nintendo.
Do you actually play them, or in your mind you think that would be nice?
Once in a while. Once in a while, I'll bust out the emulator that I actually just got Brad for his birthday as well.
Yeah.
And it has like 1,000 games on it, something ridiculous. They're all old Nintendo games. And I will scroll through until either I find a game that I know that I like, which at this point I know where they are because I've played it enough, or I find a game that I've never heard of before because there's so many.
And you play those?
And I'll play them.
Oh, what a waste of time.
But my favorite...
I'm like, if I have minutes, I'm going back to my childhood.
And I do. I mostly play either the Mario games. Once in a while, I'll play a Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah.
Or I play RBI Baseball.
Do you play with your
number
kids,
one.
or is this when it's Brian time?
It's mostly me time, but they will find me sometimes in the midst of my playing the game.
It's like the thing you have to hide and do.
It kinda
You're
is.
down there playing 8-bit or whatever video games. I don't know what it is.
And they come down and they're like, oh, what did I hear down here?
Brad, you said you had seen this story. Republican congressional candidate and Grammy-nominated composer Marty O'Donnell spoke to Fox News Digital on Wednesday. This is maybe a week ago Wednesday, about how he was disinvited from a reunion with his fellow creators of the Halo video game series for comments he made on a campaign trail. So a composer of Halo video games. Does composer mean music?
Yeah.
I mean, that's still, I'm not not in the lingo speak here. On Tuesday, O'Donnell shared a screenshot of an email he received from his booker who handles his event appearances, informing him he had been uninvited from a reunion of his fellow Halo creators at a pop culture convention, saying, quote, the promoter for SAC Anime has shared that his LGBTQ staff does not feel comfortable if you attend the event. Based on your recently reported statements of the political campaign, they have rescinded their invitation to not cause any further staff upset, end quote. I have a question. Is there any other group of people that can say, I don't feel comfortable with you attending, and then people are just disallowed to be present?
No. I can't think of a single one. I was just talking the other day about that shop owner in Idaho. That was there was a pro-life group of women meeting in his coffee shop, and he
super
said,
scary to be surrounded by people who are like, "Yay, life!"
Right, and I don't even know that they were. I don't know the situation much more than the video that I saw. That he was like, "No, you cannot come in here. That's hateful." I guess it's not technically. It's just leftist things like that. I just am surprised at how much that seems to happen with leftists who just refuse service.
Yeah.
And, if conservatives do it, like the Colorado gay baking the cake thing.
This is an important distinction. He didn't say he wouldn't make stuff for gay people.
Right.
He said he wasn't going to make a cake for a gay wedding. There's a distinction there.
Yeah, huge distinction. And the ones that I've seen recently, they are like, no, you are evil. He actually, the shop owner compared the pro-life women's group to the KKK and said, if the KKK walked in here, would you expect me to serve them? You're like them.
Yeah.
I won't serve you at all. And so, it is a little bit remarkable, the moral high ground that they think that they have.
Yeah, more from this article here. It says, quote, I'm very disappointed that SAC Anime has invited me from the Halo 25 reunion at their conference next month. If you thought we defeated cancel culture in 2024, guess again.
Yeah.
So it goes on to say that O'Donnell spent decades creating some of the most iconic music in video game history. He has since thrown his hat in the ring as the Trump-backed Republican nominee to represent Nevada's 3rd congressional district. O'Donnell shared a statement about the incident with Fox News Digital on last Wednesday. So there are people commenting here on the YouTube channel as well, saying like he's an incredible composer.
It's probably some of the best video game music I've ever heard. And I came across an ad from him before you even sent me that story. And the ad was him. It just starts off with a couple chords from Halo. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And then he talks about a piano being out of tune. And if it's out of tune and you take care of it, it doesn't work right. And then he likens that to government and getting government back in tune. And when I saw the ad, I wasn't even sure what party he was running for. I was like, oh, hey, that's Marty O'Donnell. That's the guy that did, the soundtrack was so good that I downloaded it and put it in my playlist because the music is just that good.
Yeah,
And
knowing the composer of video game music has to be not real common.
it's not as common as you might think. And so I heard that. I was like, wow, this is great. And then I found out later from this article that he's running as a Republican because all the right people are telling him they can't come to their conventions.
Wow.
After SAC Anime made numerous announcements of my attendance over this last weekend, I was told I was being disinvited because I called Marxism an existential threat.
That's why you're disinvited.
They have removed me from their website and deleted all their posts on social media promoting my appearance. My existential threat comment has been twisted a lot by my political opponents over the last few weeks, and anyone who saw the video knows that to be true. That is why I know it's not why I have been pulled from SAC Anime. I was pulled because I'm a Republican candidate for office.
That's 100% true.
Funny enough, SAC Anime's decision proves my point. Silencing the opposition is a key component of Marxism. And that is one reason why Marxism is an existential threat to our country.
Amazing.
I genuinely believe we had put an end to cancel culture after the 2024 election, but that was just the end to what AOC called Woke 1 earlier this week. Woke 2 is here, and it's just as eager to silence and destroy conservatives as Woke 1. Unfortunately for them, I can't be silenced. I will continue to use my voice to speak out against the threats our country faces, especially from Marxists who seek to destroy the United States. It's weird to me that his comment was about Marxism, and the note he got says his LGBTQ staff does not feel comfortable if you attend the event. Maybe we're missing some context here, but you're like, Marxism sucks, and the LGBTQ people are like, I feel hurt and threatened.
That is strange.
What's the connection there?
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that it's just sort of like any leftist cause. If you're against it and you're in enough of a bubble, because you got to be in a leftist bubble to be able to pull this off. If you are in one, then anything that is disagreeable is a threat to you, and you can't handle it.
And what percentage of the staff is LGBTQ?
It's a good question.
Was it like 2 or 3 people, and then they're just going to deny everybody else?
We're digging deep into what they said the issue was. He made the point. Like, that's not even a worthy, like any of really what we're talking about here, trying to understand it, not a worthy use of our time because, as he said, he's a Republican, therefore he's out. Boo. I'm not a Halo player, but sounds fun. All right, let's take a quick break here. Annie, are you okay with Trisha in the next hour?
One 887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
Air Comfort Service offers you a preferred partner plan. If you call 314-513-0091, you can talk to them about becoming a preferred partner. Now, let me explain to you what that might mean to you. First of all, regularly scheduled heating and cooling system checks. They're going to check the entire system twice a year. This immediately unburdens you from having to remember to check the filter, to make sure everything's in good working order. Because let's be honest, you don't even think about having an HVAC system until it's not working anymore. And at that point, it might be a little bit too late. You'll also, as a preferred partner, receive discounts on diagnostic calls and repairs. You can receive a discount on new equipment as well, and priority service. To become a preferred partner, just call 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Talk to Air Comfort Service about how you can sign up and get the 12th month free when you pay monthly. You can find them online at aircomfortservice.com, 314-513-0091.
Do you have burning, tingling, or numbness in your feet, hands, or legs? Is neuropathy making it harder to walk safely, forcing you to watch every step, grip railings, or live with the fear of falling? If you've been told there's nothing that can be done for neuropathy, that isn't the full story. At Comprehensive Integrative Healthcare, we don't just label symptoms. We evaluate the underlying factors that may be contributing to nerve dysfunction. Our focus is helping reduce neuropathy symptoms, improving balance, and supporting better daily function, so you can stay active and independent longer. Most people don't realize neuropathy often progresses over time, and when it worsens, symptoms can become more limiting and more difficult to manage. Imagine being able to walk with more confidence again, sleep without burning or tingling waking you up, and stop constantly worrying about your next step. Right now, we're offering a free neuropathy consultation to determine if you may be a candidate for care. Call now to schedule your appointment at 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188. Don't wait until symptoms get worse. Call 636-538-5188 today.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Things not all well with Swalwell. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Officials seized former Congressman Eric Swalwell's electronic devices and raided his home as part of an ongoing federal probe.
Fox is told this is in relation to the sexual misconduct allegations against the Democrat, noting he was not detained or placed under arrest.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin.
Sources tell Fox News the FBI seized Swalwell's electronics at his Washington, D.C. home Sunday while no one was home, and seized electronics from Swalwell at San Francisco International Airport a day prior. Swalwell resigned from Congress and dropped out of the race for California governor in April after several women accused him of misconduct. The former lawmaker apologized for mistakes in judgment, but has called assault allegations false, vowing to fight them.
Officials in New York and Los Angeles are investigating the sexual assault allegations. The FBI arrested a New York woman on charges of plotting to bomb the state capitol in Albany and kill lawmakers. Officials say that 35-year-old Jessica Bowie monitored the building, bought bomb-making materials, and pledged allegiance to ISIS. She allegedly planned to disguise the bomb as a DoorDash bag and strike while senators were meeting. A sell-off on Wall Street, fueled by rising Treasury yields, oil prices, and Walmart, which reported the slowest U.S. sales growth since 2020. The Dow is down more than 660 points, and crude prices are also rising after President Trump threatened to crush Iran economically.
Overnight, President Trump announced economic D-Day against Iran as he calls on other countries around the world to support the United States.
Fox's Trey Yingsten, the Tel Aviv.
The president indicated that if any country provides a financial lifeline to the Iranians, they'll face their own economic consequences.
And U.S. crude is up more than 2.5% at $86.80 a barrel. America's listening to Fox News.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil, one simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
We have a wonderful stretch of weather coming up, all thanks to the northwest flow. We love it in the summertime. Partly sunny and nice. 83 for the high this afternoon. As our days get shorter, tonight clear skies, upper 70s. Once that sun goes down, 67. Friday sunny, it's a touch warmer, 88, but we can still handle it. Saturday sunny and 86. Sunday sunny and 83. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Welcome back. The YouTube poll for today, we're asking you about tipping once again. That idea of tipping at the kiosk. You know, the one where you pretty much do all the work yourself and they're like, can we have more money? Isn't that kind of what it is? Your text line is open, the Annie Frey Show text line at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, or the Annie Frey YouTube channel. You can vote there as well and tell us, the question is, do you tip at a payment kiosk? Yes, sometimes, or no. What is your answer to this, Ryan?
No.
No.
It is a definitive no, and it is a public no. I want everybody to know that the no is what they can also do.
No.
Yeah.
It's kind of, when you were talking about this earlier in the show, I was thinking about when we would discuss non-compliance with mask wearing, where it's like kind of a quiet protest, but other people, if somebody deemed it the Annie rule or something like that, but I got it from somebody else. It's not like I'm the only person or the first person who did this at all, but I just started putting my mask in my pocket and going into every store and not wearing it and not making a scene or making it anybody else's business at all. But I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And if somebody asked me to do it, I'd probably put the mask on and just, depending on how much stuff I had in my car, maybe I'd leave. Maybe I would. Probably depend on how they asked me. But it was a little bit of a non-compliance. But the point was kind of to let other people see that I was willing to go about my life and not comply because it was so stupid. And then I'd have people reach out to me that saw me in the store and was like, I saw you and I took my mask off. 2 aisles later, you run back into them. They were masked then and now they're not. And they're like, it's like drawing the half of the fish in the sand just to say that we're the same. But you were saying earlier in the show that you do it and you're okay if people see. I would be embarrassed if people saw that and took note of it. But maybe it's something we need to be more public to do because we're all on the same side anyway. We just need some bellwethers who go out there and say, no, I'm not doing this. This is dumb.
It is, because it's a crappy cash grab from businesses who started doing it mainly during COVID because at the time we were told in 2020 particularly that, oh man, we're trying to keep our restaurant open. Man, my heart goes out to you in that moment. You're just trying to stay open, and now we can't have our servers come into tables. You got to come in and just walk up. If you had a restaurant where you had servers, now they're unemployed? So you're trying to keep going, and at the table at that moment, or at the counter, I should say, at that moment, I'm okay with tipping because we were in a really unique situation. But they kept all the same rules and technology once it was over, and they expected you to keep doing it. And now business owners realized, oh, you know what I can do here is just add a little extra here. And somebody actually texted this in that they said that one of their friends is a Starbucks employee and said, oh, they're just doing it because they don't want to give us raises. And I don't know if that's what the corporate line would be, but it certainly helps. I mean, if you're able to get extra tips from people who are just guilted into it.
Why is it that coffee places kind of get off the hook here?
They don't.
I think people are more likely to tip for their coffee than they are for their Taco Bell or something like that. I don't know if Taco Bell is doing that. I'm picking on them. But like Shake Shack, we know that they have that option to offer a tip. I think that I almost feel like coffee is so overpriced as it is that you're like, what's another $1? And you also, if you go with some regularity, you really appreciate the coffee. It's a staple in your day. I don't know. Keep voting on the YouTube poll, youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. Brad, do you tip at a payment kiosk? Yes, sometimes, or no?
No, I don't tip at a payment kiosk. If all I'm doing is if I'm ringing in my food and there's not a service being provided to me, no chance. So
it's actually an insult that somebody didn't ask.
Kind of. But my other question is like, if you're asking us for tips, is that company not paying their employee? Are they paying them the
tip rate?
Yeah, the tip rate, or are they paying them the full minimum wage or whatever
They're paying
wage?
Minimum wage. Because you're not tipping someone directly. If you're sitting at a table, that employee who is serving that table has a sheet with a tip for their service. And those, I would think in most places still, probably not all, those are their tips. You could hustle your butt off. You could take more tables. You're going to make more money. That's not the way it would be at a kiosk that gets flipped around. And
I don't actually mind tipping culture either. Like you played that clip from that Australian guy in the 1 o'clock hour or 12 o'clock hour that said, hey, I'm here. I didn't really get the tipping thing, but man, do you get better service here. Well, okay. I've never been to Australia, so I didn't know.
I'm a sometimes on this. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do it because I feel like I'm being put upon, like it's because it's a public thing. It's always a pressure situation if I do it though. And I think a lot of people do kind of fall in that category. It'd be an interesting question to ask. Do you ever tip under pressure when you wish you didn't have
That's
to?
That's another really good question.
Because I would be a big yes on that one. All right, here's a story. I don't know if Trish is going to do this, and Annie, are you okay? But I get to do it first, so she can do it again while I'm surprised.
Okay.
There's a Florida situation, a Florida woman this time. Deputies arrested Monique Love Turnbull after she showed up at a victim's home claiming a bank account had been compromised in an alleged scheme to obtain a credit or debit card. So this Florida woman has been accused of posing as a bank representative to scam a senior citizen, allegedly carrying the scheme all the way to jail, where authorities found money on this woman once she got to jail. So this Turnbull, 31 of Miami, was arrested after Martin County Sheriff's Office deputies alleged she showed up to the senior citizen's home pretending to work for the alleged victim's bank. The MCSO said Turnbull told the victim the account had been compromised and tried to obtain the person's debit or credit card under the guise of disposing it. How nice of the bank to be like, oh, your debit or credit card has been compromised. If you give it to me, I'll get rid of it properly for you. Right. It's an elderly person. This is what they do. The alleged victim became suspicious, good for them, and contacted law enforcement. While deputies investigated, they received another call identifying Turnbull as a possible suspect in a similar case. Fox News goes on to report that the deputies located Turnbull driving near Interstate 95 before she could leave Martin County and arrested her on fraud charges Monday during the traffic stop, which they have on a body cam video. So she is now facing charges to scheme to defraud, felony use of a two-way communication device, and fraudulent use of a credit or debit card without consent involving a victim of 60 or older. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Turnbull, 31, was arrested. The case took another turn when she went to jail. Authorities said Turnbull entered the prison with $3,200 in cash in her vagina.
Oh, I did see this story because I just saw that headline.
It's not clear who the money was taken from, but for now, it's accounted for and sealed in evidence. And then this is from the MCSO in a social media post. Quote, keep in mind, at some point, the cash will be back in public circulation.
I was getting ready to say, they're not going to burn it.
No.
They should burn it.
You should
burn
probably
it.
like dip it in some sort of formaldehyde. Using tongs.
Oh. Cash recovered after Turnbull was taken to jail is sealed in that evidence bag. Turnbull faces additional charge for introduction of contraband into a prison. Her bond was set at $500,000. Where's she going to put all that?
Same. Larger bills, though.
After the arrest, the MCO warned people not to hand over credit cards, cash, gold, and or other valuables to anyone who unexpectedly shows up at a home claiming to represent a bank, financial institution, government agency, or other organization. Do you ever think about where your money has been?
No.
Now you do.
Now I do.
It's like a Johnny Cash song.
I really, really appreciate the warning at the end of that story because I already knew from hearing ads, from the Attorney General's office and things over the years, that you should never give over your bank account number, never give over your credit card number to somebody who you don't know.
Ever.
Or cash. I did not know. You should not give them your gold bars.
Where do you put those?
Yeah. So in the future, because I've given, I'm telling you what, I've probably given away $50 to $60 million in gold bars.
Yeah, and you never to me.
It's always to fraudsters. Because I'd never heard anybody give me the warning officially that I shouldn't be doing that.
Check your cash, folks. You people where cash is king, man. You've not considered the repercussions of those actions. Miss Turnbull? $3,200. I don't even care if they're big bills. Holy cow. I have so many questions and want zero answers. I don't want any answers. Ethan, Sports and Local next. So let's talk about the Retirement Advisory Group and how they can help you get to where you need to be mentally to make that transition into retirement. It's so exciting to think about it. If you're in the late 50s, early to mid 60s, you know that it's close. And the question is, can I do it? Can I pull the trigger here to finally retire? You've got a nice nest egg saved up. How do I protect it? How do I make sure that I'm going to have an income in retirement that's going to allow me to live the retirement of my dreams? Well, the answer is you call the Retirement Advisory Group. They focus on this point of retirement, that transitionary period, to protect you, to make sure that you are confident when you work your last day and you step into retirement that it is going to be the retirement of your dreams. Reach out to Bob and Tammy Kershaw at 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Tell them Annie sent you and schedule your no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. 314-993-9494. Online at retirementkey.com.
Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I've noticed over the last 15 years, no, let's just say 10 years, how astronomical the prices to heat and cooler homes are for the equipment. Because there was a time when you would call me and it was affordable. If you have a house and you want air conditioning and you just want it to cool your house and you want to heat your house, I have a system that I made a special buy on that will do just that and save you money. Common sense will tell you if you just replace your old, and I'm talking 15, 20, 25, 30, 35-year-old system with a new system, you're going to save big dollars. If you're interested in that, call me. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Again, it's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600. God bless.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show, 97.1 FM Talk.
Check it out. Sports and local.
Magic Merlin baby starfish suit.
These are just words. They're just words.
I almost mentioned that yesterday as being one that we hadn't heard for a while.
This is like the first generation of AI trying to help you out.
This is the audio version of Will Smith eating spaghetti. It's like,
that's kind of messy.
I don't even know how to describe what that video looks like.
It's just a
There's
jumbled
no way to,
mess of non-people.
Just no way to possibly describe
What do you got?
that video. St. Louis City last night faced off against their rivals Sporting KC in Kansas City and drew. Final score of 1-1. Annie's favorite thing in sports, a tie.
Oh, gosh.
That is what happened last night. Edward Leuven scored the lone goal for St. Louis City SC. And after the draw, the streak of games that City now has been unbeaten and has not lost is up to 11. This is
It's not a winning streak because there's ties.
correct, but the majority of them in there have been wins. The St. Louis City SC went from being out of the playoff picture, one of the bottom teams in the Western Conference standings, and that now they're smack dab in the middle of things. They are, I believe, currently the 6th seed. So it's been really cool to see them after, let's be honest, it's been a couple of extremely bumpy years for St. Louis City get back into the mix. Yoann Demay is their new coach as of this year. He completely changed the system up in which they played. And it took a little while at the beginning of the year, but that system is working now, and they are consistently scoring goals.
Genuine question. When is the soccer season?
When is the soccer season?
When does it start? When does it end?
It's different for MLS compared to other leagues
When does the
around
city
the world.
season start and
it's
end?
even that much more weird because they play around like a lot of the international schedule. So they had this long break in the middle of the season because of the World Cup. So the season, I believe, begins in, I believe it's like February-ish, like earlier in the year, in the calendar year. And then they have this pause during the middle of the summer, and then they play until, it gets a little bit into the colder months, October, November. So it's a really weird season, and it's kind of confusing to keep up with just because you have these long pauses in the middle of it and whatnot. So did that answer your question, Annie?
I am sure that was clear for people.
So there's really only about 3 months where you know for sure they're not playing. That's December, January, and then maybe February.
Not like July, maybe. July, kind of, right in the middle of their season.
Is the St. Louis City as a franchise in St. Louis success? They have fans. People talk about, you got to go to a game.
Yeah, there's hardcore fans for the city.
I mean, but is as a business, is there room for improvement?
Oh, absolutely.
Does it have everything to do with the quality of play?
Partially.
Because that's the same thing with the St. Louis Cardinals, and that's the biggest game in town.
Yeah. Definitely goes a long way when the team is winning. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember that first year, 2023, when they broke all these records for an expansion team and having the success that they did, they were the talk everywhere. Everyone was paying attention to what they were doing. And the last couple of years, the talk has just kind of gone silent. It still is fun to go to a game because it's still considered, I think, a new experience in St. Louis. There's still a lot of people that haven't gone to games. I think you're one of them, Annie. I mean, I've been to 2 now, but I went to one the first year and then just one a couple of months ago, and it's like, oh yeah, it's still a new thing. It's still a cool thing to experience. But with all that being said, there is still a lot of room for improvement, and it certainly would help if they continued winning. If they got themselves a home playoff game, that would go a long way. It'd bring a lot of attention to it. Because if you remember that first year, they were the 1 seed in the Western Conference, and then they lost in the first round. So all of that momentum just kind of got zapped when, we know here in St. Louis, playoff runs, they do so much for a city, for the vibrance of a city. So if they were to win a game or two in the playoffs, that would certainly increase the attention as the season goes on.
Cause the law.
Wrong sport, but yeah, sure. A bill that would raise the rural interstate speed limit in Missouri will not be implemented by the time that it goes into effect on August 28th. Instead, Senate Bill 1408 is on hold until the Missouri Department of Transportation has a chance to assess the safety-related impacts of increasing the speed limit by 5 miles per hour across a large swath of Missouri. So it's going to go from 70 to 75 miles per hour in portions of the state of Missouri. Did you guys have, I know this was kind of a thing for a while when they were really talking about bumping up the speed limit in certain spots. Did you guys have strong opinions on this or not, raising the speed limit?
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to have an Autobahn here real bad.
Really now?
And
That's because he's cultured.
Yeah, because I'm German, actually. And
your Subaru would be able to handle it.
Yeah, the Ascent could probably get up there.
I feel like just in my experience as being a highway driver, the speed limit's very much so a suggestion.
Yeah. You know what I think is more important than raising or lowering the speed limit is the amount of people smoking weed on the road. If you could maybe address that in some way or another, I'd love it.
Would you be willing to see the speed limit go down in order to have people stop smoking weed on the road?
Yep.
What?
Yep. You could lower it to 40.
Really?
On the interstate.
What if we just had a weed lane? As a matter of fact,
weed lane.
I feel like just
I like that
on
the road.
It is. It's the grass in the middle.
Far left lane, fast lane. Far right lane, weed lane.
Did you see that video I sent you guys yesterday of these 0 markings on the 255? You know what I realized on the way home? They were there, but all of the dots and stripes were curled up and laying on the side of the road. They all came up.
You can't do that. It's paint.
Yeah, I thought it was
when they
paint.
first paved.
No, it's like the markings were, I'm sure, supposed to be temporary while the road was being relayed. It's a beautiful road. It's like uninterrupted black all over the place.
Yeah.
And nice and smooth and 0 lanes.
It's like the area after you go through a toll booth where all the cars just are converging.
Yeah, what is that?
And it's insane for just a little bit, but it's an entire interstate.
It's like the Department of Transportation's like, let's live on the wild side right here. Let's take their money, make them mad, and in a hurry.
Do we know?
All in the same place.
Do we know if this portion of the highway is adopted? You know how they do those adopt a highway things? Do we know for sure?
I think it's adopted by the taxpayers and neglected by the government.
The reason that I ask is there's a Seinfeld episode where this happens, and Kramer adopts a highway, and he decides for his portion of the highway that he wants to make the lanes wider, so he paints black over the dotted lines.
Right.
Oh, is this these lanes are so luxurious?
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've said that and thought that
I'm just
before.
saying, we might want to make sure this isn't an adopted highway.
Oh, man,
This is
just
just
made
one
me
road.
realize something. We could have had that in downtown St. Louis, but they did the bump outs with all the
Luxurious lanes.
Yeah, we could have turned 4 or 5 lanes into 3 and just driven with our hands off the wheels.
No, there'd just be more homeless people walking around in them. You know that's
but
what would
have
happen.
much more swerve room.
The burnouts would also probably be within the lane, so they wouldn't be breaking that law.
Right. Yeah.
Probably still a law being broken there, but
You
who
gotta
knows?
hear this. This is from Dave Portnoy, and he's speaking of Seinfeld. This is a Seinfeld connection, and we're gonna interrupt this because this is so well said and so important. We're going to sneak it in here in Ethan Sports and Local. He's in an airport, and he's sitting in, the rows of seats where it's like you're sitting here, you're sitting back to back to strangers or whatever, and the dude just over his shoulder having a day with his phone on speakerphone.
So I'm flying commercial with Caselio bankrupted me. I gotta be honest, I don't get people like this.
He's right there. Over his shoulder.
Who puts their buddy on speaker like this? It's crazy. Does he even hear me talking about him? Like, just take it off speaker, put it in your phone. It's basic human decency.
Right.
As George Costanza said, we're living in a society.
George Costanza yelled at
Makes
him
no
a little more.
sense.
Oh my gosh. Like I just see that and I think to myself, exactly like Portnoy is saying there, why is this hard to comprehend? Don't you realize that even if you're hard of hearing, and I'm kind of getting a little bit of hard of hearing, especially in environments where there's a lot of background noise, it's hard for me to sometimes depict
Focusing.
what somebody is
Yeah.
saying across the table from me. But you cannot have your phone on speakerphone where people not in your little circle can hear it. Don't do that. We are living in a society.
I
Thank
think
you.
George questions it. Like, isn't he going, are we living in a society?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
I don't
a
rem-
Seinfeld
I
person.
remember the clip, but I don't remember the context of the clip. I'm disappointed in myself.
Well,
I'll be better tomorrow, guys.
Portnoy was on fire in the last 24 hours in the news because he was complaining about tipping in kiosks. But he says, he's like, I have to tip. He said he fears the thing he fears the most is being accused of being a cheapskate because he won't give a $10 tip for somebody who doesn't do anything for him and basically hates the fact that he's there.
Do you ever, when you're on vacation, get pizza by recommendation of Dave Portnoy in all of his reviews?
I'm never in places that specific to where he is. Maybe if I were in New York City or something, I would go get the Portnoy pizza.
The thing is that he does them everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done them in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like if he goes somewhere,
Yeah, his
he's
Emos one
he's
is-
reviewing pizza. Yeah, he wasn't very fond of
No.
Emos. During COVID, he actually did frozen pizza reviews, and he did an Emo's frozen pizza, and it's one of the lowest scores I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's okay.
when
We don't need Portnoy
when-
to like it for us to like it.
When we were in Boston, we went to 2, and they were both 9s, and it was some of the best pizza I've ever had. So, he knows his stuff when it comes to pizza. Yeah, he's got a whole app, and it's got, shows the ratings. And
Oh, I didn't know he had an app. That makes it a lot simpler.
Barstool Pizza Review app, and on the map, it shows you like all the different spots he's been, and then you can go in and review them yourselves.
Oh.
It's highly recommend downloading that
Incredible.
app. Yes.
All right, let's get Trish in for Annie. Are you okay next? Don't go away. I want to talk to you about the Funny Bone. St. Louis right now has some great acts coming in this week, and stlouisfunnybone.com is the website. You can always go. You got a weekend free coming up here. Go to the Funny Bone. It's so affordable. Great locations to take in a comedy show, especially if it's something you've never done before. Have some fun. Go see a comic and just laugh. Gosh, what a good investment that is. This weekend, we welcome Willie Lynch Jr. as a veteran comedian right here from East St. Louis. He is appearing at the Streets of St. Charles Funny Bone Thursday through Sunday. You can go check out Willie Lynch Jr. Just Google him, see some of his stuff. But Kevin Hart called him the Langston Hughes with a punchline. Joe List is going to be at the Westport Funny Bone this Thursday through Saturday. He's a stand-up comic, writer, actor. He's got movies. You can check him out. Lots of success that Joe List has as well. So he's here this weekend at the Westport one and Willie Lynch at the Streets of St. Charles. If you're looking at the schedule long-term, if you want to work it into a weekend that you have free, go online, get your tickets there. All the details that you need to know, they're all available on their website at stlouisfunnybone.com.
Seeing mostly no answers to this poll question, but do you tip at a payment kiosk?
No,
The
you're
options
seeing answers.
are yes.
You're just seeing answers that are no.
That's correct. I'm not seeing no
answers. There's nobody cares.
I'm seeing answers
Annie.
that are no. A lot of them. Although this one I highlighted says sometimes, it says only when I accidentally hit the tip button and I'm confident the teenager behind the counter notices the look of rats, didn't mean to do that, oh well, on my face.
They don't care.
So that's the one sometimes that I've seen almost in the entire.
So you're seeing a lot of no.
A lot of no's.
Okay.
2:34. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Well, you got Trisha in here, and she's having really quality conversations off the air, like she forgot how to do radio.
One of your favorite things.
Yeah,
that we
it's like
do.
you're saving for the year. I work really hard for this. You had a tipping question?
Yeah. Do you guys tip if you're ordering carry-out pizza?
We're a Papa John's family, which is the Old Faithful go-to. It's not like when you're like, let's really enjoy. No offense to Papa John's.
That is our really enjoy place.
Everybody
Us
likes
too.
it.
Like
It
Papa
really
John's
is.
is like top notch.
Cheese and
for
sausage.
us.
Everybody
Or
likes
Joe's.
it. And well, that would be a treat. But if we are doing carry-out, because they have cheap carry-out pizzas, one topping, no, we don't tip. You think we should?
I don't.
I do because I order on my app before and they see it, and I trust my local pizza establishments, but I also think they're not going to cheese it up as much as they could. If
Don't pay ahead of time. Don't pay ahead of time.
No, I'm paying ahead of time.
Because then also if the run into the restaurant is really screwed up and you show up an hour and they still haven't gotten it
no
ready,
leverage.
just walk away.
that does not happen in Freeburg.
Okay.
There's like four people ordering pizza. At
Our
any
Glen
given time.
Carbon
They
Papa
know
John's
us.
is good too.
Nobody showed up for work in that shift. It could happen. It could
I
happen.
mean, they it's like we order once a week and they're like, oh, it's you guys again.
There was one time we got our pizza, and I think they forgot to put the cheese on it.
What?
I mean, there's no cheese on it. And I walked in. I don't.
You can look at it and see that it wasn't done before you put it in the oven.
It was
happened?
red, and I thought when I saw it, I'm like, did they put the sauce on top? I think you can maybe order a pizza that way. You can probably do whatever you want. But I'm like, this is not right. You could see the bread and some sauce. And I walked in and I was like, a guy who looked like a manager walked up to me and I go, hey, I don't really want to be this way, and I open up, he goes, that is not right. And I'm like, no. And it made me feel like did a bot make my pizza? Like, how do you forget the cheese?
Yeah, it did. And it was saying the whole time, did well. I did well. Customer will enjoy.
Oh, that's
I
how
wish
Ryan
I
approaches.
had mouth.
Trisha, did you listen to Wiggins America today?
Jog my memory.
Oh, I don't want to. If you did, you would remember.
Okay.
It was well produced.
Was it?
Yeah.
I must have missed it. I'll go back on the rewind app.
A lot of sound.
Let's
Podcast.
just say Ryan went the extra mile in the production value, and I'll just leave it there, and you can do the.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
It's really good.
this is a good time to mention the Annie Frey Show podcast.
Yeah.
especially for Ryan's bosses.
Anywhere you get your podcast.
Yeah. This is going to be a great segment once we get it going.
Yeah.
Here we go. Tractor trailer overturned in Rhode Island, spilling a massive load of raw squid all over the
Oh,
street.
no.
Raw squid. I like mine cooked.
The spill shut down an intersection for nearly 8 hours on a hot Sunday, creating a foul stench.
Does raw squid? I mean, they're dead, right?
Think
I
they were
don't know.
dead. Yeah, I looked at a couple different articles and I was like, please let these things be
I'm just
dead.
thinking of all these things slapping their legs all over the place.
Mhm, trying to get to water.
Flap, 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 all over the place. I don't think
Little
they scream.
screams.
No.
Because unlike bots, they do have mouths.
Local police have jokingly dubbed the situation Squidpocalypse.
Okay.
Thankfully, no one was injured.
That's
Annie,
cute. How'd they come up with that?
Annie, are you okay with calamari?
No, I don't. I'm not a squid person. I don't eat.
Surprise, surprise.
I don't eat. Well, that felt judgmental. Even though I'm a grown woman and I can choose with confidence what I do and don't want to eat. I eat nothing that comes out of the water.
Okay.
At all. I'm not interested in it at all.
What about if a chicken fell into a creek?
No.
Construction workers in Belgium unearthed more than $10 million in gold coins and bars while building a sewer
Ryan,
under
there's
a former
those
brewery.
gold bars that you were
I'm telling
looking
you,
for.
don't give them to scammers.
Where do they hide them?
The workers initially thought, just under the underground, the workers initially thought the gold pieces were just loose change before realizing they had stumbled upon a massive hidden fortune. However, under Belgium law, they can't keep the treasure, which is now sitting in a high-security vault.
Belgium law is getting in the way.
Waiting to see if a rightful owner claims it within 5 years. Annie, are you okay with these workers getting nothing?
I want to bet $10 that Ryan's thinking of a waffle joke right now.
No, not waffles. No. Here's where I was going with it. I can tell you where I was going.
I think Ryan's
Belgium.
like, that's beneath me.
Belgium has what they call the Indiana Jones laws.
What?
These belong in a museum. And they apply it only to gold.
What was the question?
Are you okay with these workers getting nothing? They found $10 million in gold.
Gosh, it's like you can't even like pocket a little bit. I mean, what's one gold piece going to be worth?
Right.
You can't show up with that and be like,
there was no record
that
of it.
Senator.
The Belgian president's not going to be like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 3 or 4 gold bars here missing from underground.
I love a good gourd.
Gourd bar. Where's my gourd bar? They have an accent. It's Belgium.
Well, even in the movie National Treasure, they like break a whole bunch of laws and destroy a bunch of history, steal the United States Constitution. I mean, the Democrats do that right out there in the wide open. But Nicolas Cage did it, and at the end, he's like, I don't even want it. Put it in a museum. And then at the end, you find out that they got a meager like 1 or 2% to split among them, and they all were like filthy, filthy rich. They should get something.
That's what I thought.
Don't you think?
Just don't tell the president.
I don't think that you can do
Belgium.
that. Oh.
They didn't know it was there.
A family farm in the UK is facing backlash from parents over a children's slide modeled after the sinking Titanic.
Oh, no. At some point, you got to be, this is a choice. This is a very concerted choice. From the UK?
For about $3, kids receive a boarding pass before climbing aboard the replica ship and sliding down onto a crash mat.
Oh, my gosh.
Despite online complaints calling the attraction disrespectful to the victims of the 1912 tragedy.
Too soon.
The farm manager refused to change the ride's name, stating they won't cave to internet pressure.
Darn right. I'm with that guy. I'm with that guy.
Annie, are you okay with slides?
Yeah. You know,
what about if they're based on tragedies?
Yeah, I know.
Titanic slides.
Are
you okay with Titanic?
This is important. This is an important conversation, though, because nobody has to go down this slide. Like, we need to get back to a place societally where you got a problem with it, you don't do it. And if other people are like, I really like this slide, you can judge them for it. You can judge the guy for having the slide. But do we have to monitor what everybody else is doing all of the time? Would I let my kids go down a Titanic slide? I'd have to see it first.
In the free market, somebody'd open up a slide right next door that was based on the sailing of the Titanic, not the sinking of the Titanic.
It'd be a pretty boring slide. You just sit there.
But it would also fail, and the free market would take care of that too. Is my point?
Are you first
Thank
class
you.
or steerage? You just sit on the top or the bottom, and just sit there and wait.
It's real hot underneath.
Yeah. Slides are fun. Water slides are fun. I love a good water slide, especially. But the thought of standing in the hot summer heat in a swimsuit while you're walking upstairs to get to the top of the water slide while the person in front of you is in their bikini and your eye level is their butt level, like there's got to be a better system.
Well, and you're all gonna get a massive wedgie when you go down.
It's just
like it's the
waiting for
me
wedgie. There needs to be a better system.
That is Annie Frey in a nutshell. In this segment, hates squid, loves water slides.
I can't argue with it. I wish I could.
A popular state park in Maryland is partially closed after 2 teenagers were attacked by rabid beavers in separate incidents.
Do we know they were rabid?
Yes.
Or were they just angry?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you how.
It's very 2026 to be like, let's look into their emotional state of mind. The beaver.
One 13-year-old was airlifted to the hospital after being bitten while swimming. A 19-year-old was later attacked while fishing. Unfortunately for the beavers, they were euthanized and tested positive for rabies. That's how we know it's confirmed, prompting wildlife experts to set traps and conduct nighttime thermal imaging surveys to ensure the lake area is safe. That was a mouthful. Annie, are you okay with beavers?
What about these beavers?
Well, I don't
May
know.
they rest in peace.
It's the rabidness that, if they're infected, it's a no for me.
I'm always like, somebody needs to test that beaver before I'm going to give any sort of judgment on it. I'm not going to go there. There's a lot we just passed
Dolores
up.
from yesterday is not happy.
No.
Or Betty Aaron.
No, she is happy because we didn't go
Dorothy.
there. We took the high road. We just did a whole story about beavers and just talked about them just being unfortunate animals.
Trisha?
I'm sorry, I just need a
Ethan?
second. I just need a second. A boat operator.
I just need a second. She's composing herself. Okay. I'm really proud of this room right now.
A boat operator sailing off the coast of Norway was fined over $5,000 for waking up a sleeping polar bear. The operator blew the ship's foghorn after spotting the animal on land, disturbing the bear, and
what would that have
causing it
sounded
to
like?
move to a different location.
Foghorn.
That's all I wanted the other day was sound
So
effects.
good.
And then I've met Pete and all of the other George.
Oh, you wanted to know what the polar bear
no,
sounded
I
like
wanted
waking
the
up?
foghorn. You met the moment this time.
That's the polar bear.
Not as good as
Must
the
be summer.
foghorn. That foghorn was so good.
Thank you.
You do it one more time.
It was like a misunderstood foghorn.
Is that foghorn okay? You've seen better days.
I have a job, but I'm not really, don't have my heart in it.
Well, local law strictly forbids needless disturbing or pursuing of polar bears, which have been a protected species in the area since 1972.
By the way, if the Blues need to play that after goals, I'm going to give them a nice clean one. Here you go. If you put that on the Carl, put that on the loudspeaker.
Oh, we need an Annie Frey show night at the Blues game.
We'll play that for their goals or their misses or something.
If your speakers don't have any bass, you don't even know what we're doing right now.
Yeah, this isn't an us problem. This is a you
This
and
is
your
you
technology problem.
Yeah, you need to get one of those thumping trunk bass systems.
Was the
for
bear
Annie Frey show.
hibernating? Is that why they were asleep, or was it just like nighttime?
I don't know.
Okay.
They did not say what type of sleep this bear was.
What type of sleep was this bear engaged in before I can answer this question?
I didn't dig deep enough into the details. I don't know why you'd think you would need to.
Oh, man, are you okay with foghorns?
Let me say
Not
a
now.
second. We have to really hope that bear was hibernating, because if that lady got fined $5,000 just because it was like 4 a.m. and the bear happened to be asleep,
Rules are rules. You're not allowed to wake these bears.
that's ridiculous.
Well, I love a good foghorn. I mean, what are you going to do?
That bear wasn't set to wake up until about 6. $5,000.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. So the YouTube poll that we are asking you to weigh in on today, do you tip at a payment kiosk? Yes, sometimes, or no? You got any texts that you're sitting over there on 314-241-9797? Before we get to the results here, people can hurry up and vote at the Annie Frey YouTube channel in the live chat.
Trucking Joe here.
Trucking Joe.
Honk, honk, he
Honk,
says. I think he meant to say I'm a hard no. What's next? Tipping robots to take over our jobs in the food service someday?
I mean, we're kind of doing that.
That's where we are now. You're just plugging everything in yourself. I like the comment from the guy that goes, why aren't they tipping me? I'm doing all the work to get the food. Next person says, let's see, no. Plus, I never round up for some charity. The company pools all that money and donates it under the company name and then gets a tax break.
I've looked into that. I don't think that's true. I'm gonna do more research on that. But when I always ask what do you want to round up for local kids? That's what they'll say. And you're like, yeah, what's the charity? And at least half the time they're like, I don't really know. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna pass on that.
I'm always like, if the kids are too close, then no.
We played that one cut a while ago is like, no, I'm gonna. He asks him back, do you want to round up for my kids' tuition fund? And they're like, no. And he's like, well, me too.
Yeah.
I understand that. The rounding up thing is in addition to the tipping thing.
Yes, it's separate. It's part of the whole conversation, though.
Let's live in a fantasy world where prices come down. Would you be more inclined to tip?
Yeah.
Extra money in your pocket. You're not thinking about, okay, this $2 here, that $5 there, every time, or rounding up even. Would you be able to be more generous if you got to hold on to a little bit more of your own money?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Are costs going to come down?
No, you just have to try to make more money.
One of the things David Asman said on the show yesterday when he was with us, Fox Business anchor, was talking about the affordability of housing and how we need more inventory in the market in order to get prices to actually come down, which I'm leaning in heavily because I'm trying to go through the process of, getting the home build going. And my husband and I are hopefully going to try to pick a builder this weekend, and we're starting to think all of these questions about, okay, how do we do the floors? Where do we go for floors, cabinets, countertops, windows, just over all of these different things. When he's talking about the cost of lumber and that needing to come down, I'm just thinking about, okay, well, that is just replicated in every single inch of your home, that all of this stuff is super inflated. Now, the value of my home, I bought it in 2015, and the value of my home is looking pretty nice. But then I got to turn that money around and put it into something else that seems to be overinflated. It's a very scary thing to be engaging upon.
Yeah, with the home market, if you got in before 2021, you're probably okay because you can either move up based on the fact that your house has inflated its value, or you can stay where you're at and kind of move laterally. But the people that got really screwed in that was the people, the first-time home buyers, because the cost went up so much before they could get into the market at all.
So that you have to get first-time homes back on the market, which would also, I mean, if you do incentivize or deregulate or whatever the right way to do it is from a policy standpoint, home building, then you could possibly have people moving out of their first-time home buyer home. So it's not necessarily about going out there and building first-time homes. I mean, boy, would that be a nice place to be in. We certainly weren't when we bought our first home in Hamel. But it's the domino effect of telling people, okay, you can unplug from here and you can relocate because you can afford to build a home now. Then those starter homes or closer to starter homes would maybe be more vacated, more in the market, flood the market with inventory, bring the prices down.
Yep.
Gee, how long have you been buying properties?
Just since 2021. Just started, and we've done really well, mainly because we're buying stuff that needs work. And so we put the work in, we put the sweat equity into it, and then we gain real equity back out of it.
Yeah. It's just crazy. We bought our first house in 2007, which is right before the housing market crashed. But my husband and I bought a house from an estate it took us 3 months to make it livable. And then I think we lived in that house for 1 or 2 years without baseboards in it. We had to pull all the baseboards out because of a cat situation that was in there. And we just couldn't afford them. So we didn't have them. While everybody else was being told, and I remember the bank telling us, oh, you can live in a $200,000 house. And we're like, with what money? Like, we had no money.
Yeah, that's free money right there.
And that was where people were saying, okay, I'll take this house.
What year was that?
2007.
Yeah, that
July
would have been right
2007.
before it all came down.
Yeah, and
then it got harder to borrow.
And then we got a great house. We fixed up everything, but it took us 8 years to do it.
Yep.
So, God blessed us in helping us navigate that situation in how I would say the right way. Sold it in 2015. Like the value of it went up. That house right now that we bought for maybe $70-something thousand in 2007 off of an estate, Zillow says right now that it's a $200,000 house, and that is, I think we sold it for about $118 in 2015. In 2015,
after you had put a lot of work into it.
Yes.
So which means you really probably didn't gain a whole lot based on the money and time you put into it.
No. The payment was so fantastic, though.
Oh, yeah.
Do you tip at a payment kiosk? Yes, sometimes, or no, Brad?
No, I don't.
I'm a sometimes. What do you think, Ryan?
I'm generally no.
I am. Okay, so we got a no, and a sometimes. We got about 200 votes here on the poll. 77% of y'all said no. 20% sometimes. 3% of you are yes votes. It's pretty incredible. Keep it right here. We've got the Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk coming up next.